Super poggers. All right, what's up and how's it going, guys? I am your host, Jacob Nestor. I came out to the world, but I'm back in the closet to discuss some fucking movies. As always, I'm joined by my constant co-host, Nick Sailing. How you doing, man? What's up?
So we looking clean today. You know what's up.
Fuck. Yeah, obviously, different
Yeah,
change of pace on this episode. Obviously, Harper was supposed to be on here so we could talk about the DC Universe movies, but we pushed that off a little bit because Harper couldn't make it, and I'm sure Nick is really fucking happy about that so that he didn't have to watch any of the DC movies this past week. So he's happy.
yeah. Wait, are
I
we? Wait, are we still pushing that back, or like,
we're
what's
still
the
gonna
deal
do
with
it. We're
that?
still gonna do it. I'm not letting you off the hook. That's good. That's good content right there. That's good content right there.
Yeah,
We gotta do it.
motherfucker. Uh,
No, it'd be fun. It'd be fun. I don't know when we're gonna do it though, because I have the next few episodes planned out already still. Which we'll be talking about later at the end of this episode. What's going on next episode? But so we are gonna be talking about Godzilla versus Kong today and all the new Monsterverse movies, which I am super excited for because I'm a massive fan of these series. But before we get into all that, as per usual, let's talk about what we've been watching. What you've been watching, man? Actually, side note for that, sorry. We have a lot of TV we need to talk about that we didn't talk about last episode, and then also just TV that I've seen
um,
recently that we really need to talk about. Like we've talked about in the pod before, but it's time finally because we've missed out. First of all is WandaVision. WandaVision ended during the time when we were kind of on that hiatus, so we weren't able to talk about it, and then we forgot to talk about it on the last episode. So and we'll just talk about that a little
yeah, we
bit.
did, didn't we?
Spoilers. So if you haven't seen WandaVision, skip forward a little bit. But I just wanted to get Nick's feelings because we haven't talked about this, me and you either. So like, what did you think about the ending and just the overall
Yeah,
show?
we really haven't. I like this show. Actually, I think we did briefly talk about it,
We just didn't
but
talk about the
I had
last
a
episode at least. So like how it
okay.
finally
All right.
concluded.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
in fact, if you want me to talk about the last episode, I thought it was fine, I guess, for the most part. Wasn't anything too spectacular. I thought they could have done some pretty cool stuff, especially with the property they own now.
yep.
Uh, but you know what? I thought it was fine for the most part. I did like the show when it was more of a mystery element. I will be honest.
Absolutely. I
Even
totally
though
agree.
even though I think we all knew what was going on, like from the beginning, it was still cool to have like the sense of like what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
And towards like the last few episodes, you basically get the gist of what's happening.
hmm
I know you're not too happy about. Can we talk about spoilers or
Yep.
no?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're talking about spoilers
Yeah,
right here.
you're
Yeah.
not
I'm
too
I'm not too
happy
happy with the
about
ending. Um,
with yeah, and
and the like Ralph Boner
uh yeah,
that we're gonna bring up.
what's his face?
Yeah, the
That
show with
kid
Evan
Peter
Peters.
Evan,
Obviously, they bring
Evan
in
Peters.
Evan Peters, the actor who played Quicksilver in the X-Men movies, and it was really cool. And I was hoping they'd do something really interesting with that, and they literally just turned it into a boner joke. Which obviously I have a fucking pea brain. Obviously, I laughed when they did that,
Wait,
but I was still upset.
yeah, definitely.
I
Now,
and that's
but
kind of like
that
the
gives them the
definition of a
excuse to
show.
bring back maybe Aaron Taylor Johnson.
How would they bring him back though?
Oh,
I guess
I
like
don't
they
know.
could
Technically,
somehow
they
with like it.
brought
I
Quicksilver
mean,
back,
they
but
could do
yeah, I guess
anything
not.
realistically. Like
I think so.
they could do it, but like I just think it would have been interesting if they did it with the Evan Peters character and maybe something with like the multiverse with that. That would have been really interesting. But
People were
instead it was
hoping
just
to
a
see
meme.
Magneto by the
Yeah,
end of the
yeah.
series.
I was hoping either some more
Um,
X Men stuff revealed by the end, or some Fantastic Four stuff revealed at the end. I was waiting for either
oh
one of
yeah,
those, and neither of them came,
that would have been
and
interesting.
that was definitely disappointing. Um, I
Is that
it
happening? Is Fantastic Four happening again?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Jesus
I'm pretty
Christ.
sure like what I'd assume, this is obviously this is all just like fan nerd speculation shit, but
Yeah.
you know how Thanos was the main villain of the entire past 22 movies. I think probably the
The
next
Infinity
big,
Saga, yeah.
yeah, I feel like the next big villain for the next set of Marvel movies is probably going to be Galactus. um which means
Oh,
they'd have to bring in
yeah,
Fantastic Four for that, basically.
right.
Just because they're, if you know anything about Fantastic Four or Galactus, they're pretty tied in their comic books, uh, villain wise, and I think it'd be a pretty obvious choice to go for that. So I wouldn't blame them if
Yeah.
they didn't. I guess they could go something crazy. I don't know. But I'd definitely be interested to see what they could do with
They're-
Galactus and a proper Fantastic Four movie because I do
Has,
love the Fantastic Four characters. I've always been a big fan of them.
have has Galactus? I don't know much about Galactus as a character, other than yeah, he's like mostly related to like Fantastic Four. But
Mhm.
does he involve in the comics? Does he involve himself in like the comic shit at all? Because I feel like
The
that's the
cosmic
direction.
shit? Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like
yeah, for sure.
that's the direction this because he's a space dude,
Yep.
but like I know he's like an all fucking being motherfucker.
Mhm.
Um, so okay, cool. That's that would be
Yeah,
very interesting.
I hope they go some route with that, but obviously that's just speculation.
Yeah.
But that's one thing with Marvel movies or just Marvel content in general that I see discussion on both sides of the coin, especially for WandaVision when you're talking about fan expectation and then what actually happens is
Mm.
I do think fans have a right to be upset when like they're really kind of teasing at something that's happened before in the comics, something really big and interesting. They're really teasing at it, and then they like completely flip it to something that's worse. I think that is a fair complaint, and I do think like comic
Right.
fans have a right to be upset over stuff like that. I know there's discussion online whether like, oh, you're just upset they didn't go for like the obvious route instead of like they tried something creative and unique. It's like I that's bullshit. Um, I just want a good story, and like, sorry, I was hoping for a better story. That's kind of how I felt by the end of WandaVision. Like, I really liked the show, but it could have been
I
so
think you
much
have to
more.
also remember that these products are just like as much as the cool shit that's in them, and as like, oh, we hired this director to like make a fucking superhero movie. Like they're all conditioned and like super uh like condensed via their production because
Hmm.
everything is like I mean Kevin Feige is actually a pretty good like leader in terms of like running the show over there because he's like an actual like comic nerd and shit.
Yeah.
But you got to remember like some of these things they just like they don't think that people would care. They think they just want to get it to the largest audience possible. Now with WandaVision, I've noticed that they kind of went into multiple different areas of like obscurity, which I shit I didn't even know,
Hmm.
um,
For
and
sure.
uh, and I was very pleased by that, even though some of it was like maybe didn't go the way I liked it. But
Hmm. Yeah.
that was something I noticed. I
There are a lot of really
definitely
cool
in
ideas in
WandaVision.
WandaVision. I absolutely
Yeah.
agree.
Did you have you checked out the new show? Was it the
Yep.
Falcon and
Yep.
Soldier?
And that was the next show I wanted to talk about
I haven't seen that
is
yet.
the Falcon and Winter Soldier. So you haven't seen any of that?
I haven't seen that yet.
Okay.
Oh, I watched half of the first episode and I got bored of it and turned it off.
That's
So
fair. I actually I've been enjoying it quite a bit. It's definitely, especially episode 2, a little bit like, whoa, propaganda. You know,
oh
like
really?
obviously like
That's
a
cool.
lot of Marvel movies are in a lot of ways kind of
Propaganda for what?
military propaganda.
Oh yeah, totally. I
Um,
fucking I the
and
first few well
that's a fact,
they're
but
like kind of, but they're like kind of anti. I mean, the whole Iron Man saga is literally like anti-war.
mhm, yeah.
Yeah,
But it's still an enjoyable show though, absolutely, and I really like the direction that they're taking
cool.
both of the titular characters, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'm definitely excited to see more because when they're on screen and they're together, it's really enjoyable, absolutely. And there's a
That,
fight scene with a specific character in episode 3. I won't say because it's like this character only pops up in episode 3, so it's like a surprise, I guess. But
oh,
this fight scene is genuinely one of the best hand-to-hand combat fight scenes in like Marvel cinematic history. Honest to God, it's
well,
so fucking cool. It's so fucking cool.
now they have the excuse to do hand-to-hand combat with their characters because these motherfuckers don't have superpowers. They
Yeah,
just have
exactly.
strong hand and wings,
It's
basically.
awesome.
So now
And
they
like,
can do hand to
and
hand
the shit with
combat.
Falcon is really cool too. Like seeing him swoop and fly around and shit like that, like in the way they shoot it, I think is really, really fun.
Interesting.
Those scenes are just super electric and make the show absolutely worth it for some of the more
That's good to
heavy-handed
hear.
propaganda and kind of more boring sections at times. But the
My
action
biggest
hits.
That's good to hear. Actually, my biggest issue with Marvel is the action is pretty
I agree.
lackluster for the most part.
It's kind of
Especially
it's kind of
like
sad.
in especially in those Captain America movies.
Some of those
they're
early
cut
Marvel
so
movies,
terribly.
dude. Oh my god, the fight scenes.
Well,
I don't know.
specifically for me, like the fight scenes in Winter Soldier were just
I,
terrible.
I,
Oh
I
my
this is the thing.
god.
I haven't rewatched Winter. That's one of the ones I haven't rewatched in a long time. I loved Winter Soldier when it came out, but
Mm.
I obviously have like a way, like I understand how I enjoy movies now and what I enjoy about movies now more so than I did back then. And I definitely almost always hate a shaky cam fight scene.
Yeah.
So I am a
Yeah,
little
I
bit
mean,
scared to rewatch it.
narratively, I think all those Captain America movies are good.
I
But every
think
time that
most every
motherfucker
single
gets into
Marvel
hand to
movie is
hand
good.
combat, it gets so tired so
Yep.
easily. And like, I don't give a fuck about Bucky. Like,
Hmm.
I honestly one of these things that I hope the show develops is Bucky because I don't care about his character.
They
I
are.
never did.
They are absolutely.
Like, like the one thing about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I was like, they're trying to make Bucky this giant deal when he's like such a titular part of Captain America. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just my thing on that.
For sure.
But
I
yeah.
definitely do recommend checking out Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's a little bit it's a different format than WandaVision. It's like 50-minute episodes and it's gonna be 6 episodes instead of 10, I believe.
Okay.
So episode 4 is coming out this Friday, probably when this episode of the podcast
And
airs. And I'm definitely
is
gonna
it
be checking out more of it.
and is the big villain been revealed yet, or is that a spoiler?
Yeah, sort of. It's like a organization. It's kind of
Oh,
cool.
okay.
It's about these
I thought it
people.
was Zemo.
Zemo is in it. Yeah. And Zemo.
Oh, cool. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Zemo's tied to
Is
it.
it the same actor that played Zemo?
Yep.
in
Yeah, and
Intermission?
he's awesome.
Oh,
He's awesome.
cool. Daniel, what's his face?
I
Okay,
can't
cool.
remember his name, but he's really awesome in it.
He's like
He's only
German
been
or
in
something.
he's only into 3 episodes. He's only been in it a little bit more so in
Gotcha,
episode 3.
gotcha.
So yeah, that is a little bit of spoilers.
Yeah, I
sorry,
kind of got
but
spoiled
I think
a little bit, but
I think
figured that would be
everyone
a
knew
big
Zemo was
thing,
going to
yeah.
be in it though, and he was in like
Yeah,
promotional
exactly.
pictures.
He was in
and
the
shit
trailer,
like that.
wasn't
Yeah, exactly. He's in the trailer and like promotional
okay.
pictures. But yeah, it's like a group. I can't remember what their name is, but it's about people who like were alive during the blip, and then when everyone came back, those people became like disenfranchised and like pushed to the side and shit like that. And so they're trying to
Whoa.
like go back to the time when they weren't, when everyone else was gone. You know, it's pretty interesting, honestly. I'm excited to see where they go with it. And the leader of that group is I can't remember her name. I need to look up her name real quick. She's the girl who's also the leader of the like resistance team in Solo.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, the girl who played Jyn Erso?
No. Fucking her name is Erin Kellyman. She plays
who played Mon Mothma?
Enfys Nest. That's the name of the group.
Oh.
Enfys Nest in Solo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
The like leader of that group. So I mean, dude, she plays the leader of the resistance group in Solo, and then now in Falcon and Winter Soldier too. Interesting typecasting, but she's really good in Solo and really good in this so far. So I hope her career starts to go places because she's getting that absolute fucking shmoney. And fucking I won't reveal who he is, but Wyatt Russell's in it. You know Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's son. He's an overlord.
Yeah, Wyatt Russell's awesome.
He's fucking awesome, and yeah, he plays an interesting character in this. I'll just say that. But
really,
yeah.
Okay, is he like a main character?
Yeah.
Or like, oh, okay, cool. I like seeing him on screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've only seen him in a couple things, but every time I'm like, I like that guy.
Yeah. Same.
In like different types of movies too.
Yeah. He's interesting. But anyway, that's all we'll say on that show because obviously I haven't seen any of it. But
I'm thinking I'm probably just gonna binge them all.
Yeah, that's fair. When it's all out.
Yeah.
That's fair. Because yeah, episode 4 is this week, and then there's only 2 more. So I mean, there's only like 2 more weeks until it's done. So
Yeah.
and
then
after that,
right?
Loki. Yeah.
Yeah.
Excited for Loki.
Jesus. Okay, cool.
Marvel's just pumping out that content.
Yeah.
But
They really are.
Go them. I'm excited, and I've been watching it all, and I've been loving it. So I was talking to Harper the other day, and I really am like thinking I'm probably like the biggest Marvel fanboy right now than I have been in like a long time, honestly.
Wow.
Because of like just the way that they're pumping out content and like the way that they've been taking like their shit is really great, I think, and I'm just like so excited to see more.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And their next few movies look pretty fucking awesome too.
Yep, I hope they are. I really hope they are. I got faith. I always enjoy them, so I'll be watching them. Anyway, after that, another TV show I want to talk about. Have you seen Invincible at all?
No, I feel like I've heard about this.
Yeah, so it's an adult animated superhero series, based off the comic, called Invincible. I've read some of the comic. It's pretty fucking awesome, and I've been watching the show. 4 episodes out right now, airing weekly. It's great. You know, we don't talk about it much, but I highly recommend it. It's on Amazon Prime. It's really funny, really great action, just a really good story, and the fucking voice cast is stacked. Steven Yeun plays the main character, and then his dad is J.K. Simmons, who's like the Superman of the world, and then his mom is Sandra Oh, which is just fucking awesome. I highly recommend checking out Invincible. It's a really
How old
show.
is Steven Yeun compared to Sandra Oh?
Oh, let's check it out. Bum, bum, bum.
I'm gonna take a guess, say maybe it's like 15 years.
All right, Steven Yeun is 37 years old.
Ooh, he's older than I thought he was. So maybe.
And Sandra Oh is 49. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so I was almost correct. I was about
you were close.
2 years off. Interesting. So that means Sandra.
Check out the show. It's fun as fuck. There's a few other.
Prime?
Yep, there's a few other people who are in it, named voice actors that are cool, but I don't want to pull it up because I'm lazy.
Because you're lazy.
Exactly. But it's okay. We'll move on. Highly recommend checking out Invincible.
It's okay.
Yeah. And then the last TV show I want to talk about is Succession. I watched all of Succession, both seasons.
Oh wait, you finished it?
Yep, I watched both seasons.
I haven't even finished season 2 yet.
You didn't? Dude,
no.
I wanted to talk about it. Oh, I thought you did. You animal.
No, I kind of stopped and like was kind of sidetracked by a few other shows, but I definitely want to get back into it.
Wait, so
I kind of like watched episode 1 and then the pilot of season 2, and I stopped. Dude. I was like, ugh, I don't know.
Oh my god, that's so fucked up, dude.
I'm glad you watched it though.
I
knew you would fucking like it.
I became obsessed with this show. Genuinely one of my favorite shows I've seen in recent years. It is fucking incredible. It was just blowing my mind every single episode, like the way that they would take it and just the creative control. It really reminded me of The Social Network in the way of it's a premise that sounds really fucking boring and shouldn't work, but you get really creative people in the writing room, the direction, and the score. And those 3 things alone, you just get some crazy innovation in there with the way that they take this story, and it's unlike anything you've ever seen. It's fucking just so good. Nicholas Britell.
Here, I'll put a pin in this. If you wanna, we'll finish talking about it. But if you wanna talk about it on the next spot, I'll finish the season.
Good. Finish season 2, and we'll talk about it in full. But we'll talk about season 1 a little bit. Just that ending is fucking crazy. That ending is really fucking sad and crazy. And I don't know how this show makes me care. I wouldn't
spoil anything, honestly.
Yeah, we won't.
I feel like not many people have seen this show.
Yeah, we won't
spoil it. But if you haven't, definitely fucking see this show.
Who's your favorite character? We'll say that. Who's your favorite character?
Probably what's his face's character? Shit.
Greg the motherfucking egg.
No, Greg's dope, but shit. What's fuck? I forget his name now. The guy who played Oh my
Talking
god, what's his
about
face in the
Roman.
big? I'm talking about what's his what?
We're talking about Roman Roy,
No, Roman's fucking
Romulus.
funny as shit.
Yeah,
Actually, Roman might be my favorite, low key.
Roman's great. Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall. That I
Yeah,
was like, it's a girl's name. I was like, yeah,
Kendall is
yeah,
awesome.
Kendall's
Yeah,
awesome.
Kendall's definitely the
The
lead
guy
character
played.
of the show. And
Yeah, yeah.
he's just fucking incredible. It's and dude, he's so much better in season 2. I think season 2 is better than
Really.
season 1.
He's
It's
and
so
kind of in
cool,
season one. He's kind of a bitch, but there is a moment in season one,
dude. He
like episode 6, where he turns into like a motherfucking beast, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
there's a few episodes. There's a few moments in season 2 we were
Jeremy
like,
Strong, by the
yeah,
way.
we were like, oh my god, dude, like that kind of made me feel some sort of way. Calm down. But in a
There's
good
some
way.
crazy shit that happened.
But dude, no, he is like the biggest little bitch in season 2, but in like the best way. It's awesome. The way that they
I'm
take
excited.
his character and the arc all the way until the very last scene of season 2 is just amazing. It's so good. It's so cool. It's so fucking good. I'm really obsessed with this show. And Shiv is a lot more important in season 2 as well. And the way that they explore her character is awesome. Like, I'm loving
She has
this
a
show.
very interesting arc in the first season, to
For
where
sure.
the point was like, oh, she's like probably the best one, but then she's got her little like, her
Yeah.
little inconsistencies. We haven't really mentioned what the show's about. Just the show basically follows like a Roger Ailes, or like even like a Trump type family,
Mm-hmm.
and basically that's what the show is. And
Yep.
it's like family drama, things that have to do with the company.
Just super
That
rich people, dumb shit.
yeah.
Just being horrible people doing horrible things, but like
They have
they
like a
force
whole
you to care
episode.
about them somehow. It's insane.
They have a whole episode where they're basically spending millions of dollars to go to like some Palm Springs in like area in Arizona to just like fake like this family like
The family therapy.
therapy session.
Yep. Oh
Yeah,
my god, dude.
which is one of the best episodes in my opinion. But
so good.
it's just insane, like the shit that these rich people will do, and I don't know. I love it. It's great, and the writing is probably my favorite part of the show.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. The writing and all that stuff is in the direction, the way that they do it. Like it reminded me of a movie that came out last year, Shiva Baby, that I really loved. In the
Oh,
way that it's constantly moving, constantly zooming in, zooming out, moving all about. It's
oh yeah,
almost like
it's
a documentary style in a way, but it still
yeah,
is so precise in the way that it
definitely.
frames people and the way that it blocks everybody. It's insane how it looks so like kind of messy and like free form, but it's still so precise and has like so much meaning. It's just like a technical
Yeah,
marvel to look at.
yeah. The camera like plays into some of the comedy in this
Yeah,
in this
dude,
movie
this show's
in this show
fucking
as well.
hilarious. It's
It's very
so
funny.
funny.
Um, I wanted to also mention Adam McKay, I believe, directed the first
He directed
episode,
the
the
pilot.
pilot,
Yep,
which got me hooked immediately, and I
absolutely.
was like, "This, I'm all over this." And then I thought they did a really good job of like keeping the same feeling
Hmm.
throughout, and I was like, "This is
Hmm.
pretty hard to
I
identify
agree.
who is not directing
Yeah,
this."
when
Um,
when I saw the pilot, I was really excited, and I'm like, I saw that he directed it, but for some reason, I also thought like, oh shit, did he create this? This makes so much sense that he would create this show. And then I looked it up. I'm like, oh wait, no, he only directed this one
produced
episode,
it.
and so I was a little bit worried to see how the rest of the season would go. Um, and it's flawless.
Really?
I actually have like no complaints with this show. It's just
You think
so
season two's better?
I do think season 2 is better. It's
Okay, cool. I'm excited.
really incredible stuff that they do. And I just wanted to mention last thing, my favorite thing out of everything. You mentioned the writing. My favorite thing is the score. Oh my god, the score is just amazing. Nicholas Bertel does the score. Namely, he did the scores for Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk, both of Barry Jenkins movies. And whoo, I love the score for both of those movies. If Beale Street Could Talk is like a top 3 score of the past decade for me, probably. It's so just fucking beautiful. I listen to it all the time still. And that's how it's going to be with this score as well, especially the main theme of this show and the way that they use it
The main theme's
is
fucking killer,
just
man.
so killer. Alongside
Did you
just
see
like
the
a
Pusha
lot of
T
the other.
remix to that main theme?
I haven't. Oh my god, that sounds
Pusha,
incredible.
it's basically just Pusha T rapping over the main theme
That's awesome.
of the
I'm gonna
show.
look that
It's
up
very
right after
weird.
this.
It's
That
very
sounds so
unexpected,
fun.
but it's cool.
Yeah.
Also, I love the intro to this show,
Yep.
and I think I mentioned it when we were talking about the game. But the game has like those elements of like Super 8 footage, and like the very beginning
Cross-cutting between
of
the
the
Super
show.
8 and then the
Yep.
like new form digital kind of. Yeah.
Yeah,
And like
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
the mirroring of shots, especially the most obvious one is like the
With the
shot
son and
of
the
him at
father.
the table and then it cuts to him.
Oh,
Like when he's at the table and then everyone is at the table too, and it's like
yeah.
him, and then it cuts to him older, and it's like the same thing. That's like the most
Mhm.
obvious mirrored shot. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude, the intro is so well crafted, and then they changed the intro for season 2, obviously. And
Yeah, they did. I
and it's
noticed
like
that.
Shiv is a lot more focused on in the intro, and she has a lot more of an important role in season 2, and so that's like a fun little like
Okay, cool. I like
teaser
that.
in a way. It's like I noticed that in the first episode. I'm like, interesting. Does that mean like Shiv is important? And then she does. She does a lot more shit. I'm like, oh, that was
Yeah.
cool. That's almost like I said, a little teaser in a way.
Yeah. And after these few minutes of talking about the show, I kind of realized as much as I love Jeremy Strong, Kieran Culkin is one
Yep.
of my favorite parts of the show.
Kieran,
He's such a fucking asshole. I love
dude,
him.
he's
Oh my god.
so fucking funny.
I haven't seen him
Holy
in anything since Scott Pilgrim. Literally
Yeah.
anything since Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
And he's one of my favorite parts of Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, he needs more shit because oh my god, his
He's
performance
so
in
fucking funny.
this, yeah, it's just amazing the way that they take all these characters, and like I said, they're all despicable characters that do horrible things,
Yeah,
and
they're
then
horrible,
they still
horrible
make
people.
you care about them. That's a fucking skill. That's so hard to do.
Except for Greg.
Except for Greg. Greg's great, but Greg does some shit. Greg does some shit.
Greg does some shit.
Greg does some
Alright.
shit. I'll has Cruises happened? I can't remember. Cruises happened, or it's like introduced in season 1, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
It's closer. It's like episode 9 or whatever.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
shit happens with that. It's crazy. It's so crazy. I'll stop talking about this show because I'm gonna start accidentally giving spoilers.
Yeah, we've been talking about a lot of TV.
Yeah,
which is fine. This is good.
it's fine. I'm glad we talked about this because yeah, I haven't been watching a whole lot of movies these past 2 weeks because I've been watching all of this TV. I've been watching just so much. Like I binged both seasons of Succession and then the Falcon and Winter Soldier shit, Invincible. I feel like I watched another TV show, but I can't fucking remember. But cause, I was just like drowning myself with Succession. But anyway, highly recommend that show. That's on HBO.
Yeah, I highly recommend it as well. Since we've talked about movies for a long time, do you want to just quickly go through like what we watched movies wise, or do you want to just skip it? And,
no, I still definitely have some movies I want to talk about. Because like I said, I didn't watch a whole lot, so it won't be a whole a lot. But I still want to talk about the few that I did. Do you want to go first though?
I can. Yeah. So first thing, I haven't watched too many things, so I'll just list off like let's see. I watched Bad Trip, Eric Andre.
Yep, watched that too.
Ray Howery.
What'd you think of that?
Oh, you watched it?
Yep.
Okay, cool. I can give your opinions on this. What do you think?
I loved it. I actually loved it. Like,
okay, cool.
Basically, every single joke worked on me. I was laughing so hard throughout basically the entire runtime, and the way that they integrated the jokes in with the ridiculous but kind of fun plot line was creative and cool. I don't think it reaches the level of the first Borat movie, but I actually think it might be better than the second.
Whoa, are we comparing these with Borat?
Yep.
I wouldn't.
I did,
but I could see why you would.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an obvious comparison in the way that it's like a, fictitious written story mixed in with like real people who don't know what's going on. You know, it really like
but Borat always came with like a message or like something it was trying to tell you.
Oh yeah, that's why I think Borat's definitely better. And like
I don't know, I was just caught off guard that you said Borat.
That's fair.
Was,
that's fair.
I
will admit that my time watching Borat 2, I've only seen it once, and it was a little bit soured. I talked about this when I first watched it on the podcast, however long ago that was, whatever episode that was.
What was that? I forgot.
My roommates and all the friends that were there, like our whole friend group came over to watch it, were like the entire time, like every other scene, were like, how did they get that? What do you mean? That person's totally faking it. They're in on this. Like, what do you mean? How would they do that? That makes no sense. Like, what? How are these people falling for it? I'm like, dude,
I mean,
shut
I
up.
was doing that in my head.
I mean, yeah,
low-key.
that's fine, but like, I don't know. Don't say it out loud. Just enjoy the fucking joke. I'm like trying to like sit there and like enjoy the jokes. I know that shit. I know that it's a mix of reality and fiction. I'm not trying to find
Mhm.
the line. I'm just trying to enjoy it because I know that's what it is, you know. And so that just it made me not be able to like fully appreciate some of it.
No, I could totally understand.
So
that.
I will admit I'll probably like it more on a second watch. But I really loved watching Bad Trip. I really loved watching.
Yeah, Bad Trip's a lot of fun. And Eric Andre is just like incredible with like these like cringe humor, like live action with real people type of shit.
Yeah.
And like almost all the scenes where it was all um like IRL.
Yep.
I thought it was really fucking funny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I definitely agree. Tiffany Haddish,
what
I
was
really liked her.
who played Lil Holray's sister? I forgot.
Tiffany Haddish. That's what I just said. Yeah.
Tiffany Haddish.
She's really funny in it. I think she's really great.
Yes, she's like really fucking funny in it.
She's way funnier than Lil Ray is that Lil Ray Howard?
Howery.
Howery.
Lil Ray Howery, who's been in a few things.
Yeah, I recognize him. He's good in it, but Eric and Tiffany are so fucking good in it. They definitely outshine him.
It's the very beginning, but she has the scene where she's like going to the phone shop trying to get some money from her brother. It's like with real people, so she's like being all extra and super like absurd, and like at the very end, she's like taking money out of the fucking cash register, and as she's leaving, she's like, "Here, take some for the shit. Take some, don't snitch on me." And these like two little old white ladies are like, like, I have no idea what to do.
And like the scene when she goes into the bar and she's trying to find them, and right when she leaves, Eric and Lil Harry show up, and it's so fucking funny. All the people are like, "Yo, she's looking for you. You're gonna get your ass beat and shit."
Oh god.
Yeah, I had a really great time with this movie, and I can definitely see myself rewatching it because it was awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Let's quickly go through these. I rewatched The Invitation. I haven't seen that since it came out.
Killer.
So it's been like 5 years.
That movie's awesome. Speaking of Wyatt Russell, he's in that, isn't he? Am I wrong?
No, but another guy with long hair and a beard is in that movie.
Yeah, he looks like him.
Yeah, he does. Like, oh, it's Logan Marshall Green.
Logan Marshall Green. Okay, dude, they look so similar. Holy shit.
They do. He also looks like Tom Hardy without his beard.
Also Tom Hardy. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I watched a movie called The Poughkeepsie Tapes.
What the fuck?
This is like a a documentary, like fake documentary of like this serial killer that would record his victims all over this New York town of Poughkeepsie. And he was like, I don't know. The movie's hard to describe because you kind of have to watch it to get it. But I don't recommend anyone watching it because it's actually not a very good movie. I watched it because I have interest in these type of like fake documentaries because I find them very interesting.
Yeah,
like the
I'm super interested
genre.
in this. This sounds cool.
But it was like not good. Acting in it was pretty bad. I was recommended this movie by a couple horror fans. They said it was really good. And I was like, after I watched it, I was like, I don't know what you saw in it, other than maybe a few really cool, like disturbing, like scenes. But it was just bad acting. Like, I don't know. And later I found out the movie was shot in like 15 days, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But that's
a little disappointing to hear.
It's disappointing. It's like super culty though. Like I'm going on Letterboxd right now, and it's getting like rave reviews.
Weird.
For the most part.
Maybe I'll check it out.
It's very strange. I honestly don't recommend it. I do not think you would like it, Jake.
Okay.
Let's see here. I'll just mention a couple more. I watched. Did I mention this last week? I watched The Lodge.
I
Um,
don't think you did. I saw. I expected you to like this movie, and then I saw your letterbox rating.
no, I
Yeah,
didn't like
I
this
thought you
movie.
would like this. I
I
haven't
actually
seen
thought I
it,
would like
but
this
I've heard
too
a
when
lot
I
of good
when
shit
I
about it. So
this is 2020 movie that came out. I want to say like right before the
I believe
pandemic
it's
hit.
2020. Yeah,
Yeah, it's got Riley Keough, who is absolutely gorgeous.
love Riley
Jada
Keough.
Martell and Richard Armitage, who's barely in the movie, but he's in it. Riley Keough is basically like Richard Armitage's uh, new girlfriend, and his wife or ex-wife just killed himself, so now he has to take care of the kids. Um, who's
Jeez.
Jada Martell and Leah McHugh, who is young
Isn't like
actress I haven't seen before.
Isn't Noah Schnapp in it?
No, geez,
What?
yeah, the whole It cast is in this as well. No, like
I swear to,
there's just
isn't there an It kid in it? Or
no, it's just one. No, yeah, there is an It
oh,
kid. It's
Jaden
Jada
Martell. Oh, okay,
Martell.
okay,
It's the
okay, okay,
yeah,
okay.
it's the unpopular It kid.
Yeah, that
Um,
I got them mixed up. I forgot. This is the one no one cared about.
it's the masturbating Nazi, if
It's
you
the master.
will.
the shout out Knives Out, dude. I just got Knives
Yeah,
Out
shout out
on
Knives Out.
Blu-ray. It was on sale the other day. I was just
He
be
was
hype.
also in this new Apple Plus show with Chris Evans in it.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I saw the trailer for that. Looks a
The
little shitty.
Lodge is like kind of like a cult movie, I guess. Like an actual like it's based around a cult.
Hmm.
Riley Keough is coming out of a
Oh,
cult,
it's literally a
and
cult
she has
movie.
to
Yeah.
yeah, it's a cult movie.
Yeah.
And she has to basically take care of these two kids while they're on vacation in the middle of nowhere at this snowy lodge, while Richard Armitage goes back to town to do some work stuff.
Hmm.
And crazy stuff ensues. I didn't like this movie. Like, I'm not a huge like person to be super nitpicky on like logical stuff,
Hmm.
but it was too hard to not be
Yeah.
picky about the stuff
I'm the
that
same.
was super illogical in this movie.
Yeah.
Um, the only good thing about this movie is like maybe the performances, the way it was shot was fine. You got like some really cool Hereditary vibes.
Hmm.
But like I don't know, this is a movie I would recommend is to get your own opinion out of because I've noticed a lot of people really like it.
Hmm.
But it's just something I just didn't find enjoyable to watch.
Hmm.
But yeah. Let's see. What else could I mention really quickly here? Um, uh, I haven't really seen that much. I'm just gonna move on, I guess. Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Nice. Oh.
I did watch. Uh, uh,
Okay. Oh. Zappo.
I did start watching on HBO Static Shock. I haven't seen that since I was a kid. So
the like new version.
no, it's just Static Shock from like the early
Oh,
2000s,
the
and
yeah, okay,
it's on
the original. Nice.
it's on
I used to
HBO
love
now.
that show. That's fucking awesome.
I used to watch that show at like 2 in the morning when I
Yeah,
was like
same.
6 years old.
That's super hype.
So
Right on. Nice, nice. Um, well, what's that on HBO? You said.
yeah, HBO Max. Yep,
Cool.
they
Yeah.
just put it on there.
Of
It's
course,
very
everything's
cool.
on HBO
And I think
Max. So.
I think there is a live action. Yeah, it's HBO Max because it's technically DC product.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot of DC shit on HBO Max that I am gonna start
This
rewatching, which is a good little
oh
transition
yeah.
into one that I did watch, which was Batman Hush. This is based off obviously the
Oh,
Batman Hush comic, which is
cool.
really famous and really
Hush is
fucking
an
good.
awesome character.
Just such a great character. And have you seen the animated adaptation?
I have not, but I know the story.
Not as
Is it
good.
different?
They change Hush. Yes, they.
Oh, do they
Um,
wait? Do they change Hush? Like,
I got
is he
it.
not Batman's friend, or like what?
Whoa, spoilers! Whoa, whoa. No,
Is that a spoiler? That's not a spoiler. That's well known.
no, I know it is well known that Hush is Batman's friend, but spoilers for the animated adaptation. No, it's not. They change it to
Interesting.
be the
I don't like
Riddler.
that.
It's the Riddler.
Ah!
And I got.
Are you serious?
I'm not even joking. This is what they did. So
Oh,
you know how
no.
in Batman Hush, like it brings back like all the classic villains. That's kind of like
Yes.
what makes it so cool.
Yes.
Yeah, and so they're bringing them back, and then they get to the Riddler section, and then I'm watching it with my buddy Dakota, and he's like, "Dude, Riddler is the lamest fucking villain. Why is he in this? This is so stupid." And then they
That's not
reveal
true, by the way.
Riddler to
Riddler's an
be
awesome fucking villain.
Riddler is cool.
Fuck your
But
friend.
and then it's revealed that Riddler is Hush in this version, and I gotta say I do like
Fuck.
the way that they did it. Though, like the way that he is actually kind of cool. But the comic is still way better.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
But
I mean,
it's cool though.
I guess.
It's really fun. I actually still really did enjoy it, and there's the love story with Catwoman in it that is actually really touching. Honestly, really, really touching.
Interesting.
And quite beautiful. So
does Batman fuck again in this movie?
Batman does fuck in this movie.
Oh, hell yeah!
He gets fucking Catwoman scratches on his back. I'm not
Don't
even
we
kidding.
get to see Bat? Do we get to see his ass, or am I imagining this? Do we get to see Batman's ass in Killing Joke?
I think we do. I'm pretty sure you're right.
Like he still has like the upper torso of his costume on,
Yeah.
but his pants are
No,
down, right?
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, speaking of a really not
It's a
great
great image.
animated adaptation, The Killing Joke is not that good of an adaptation.
Yeah.
It is a disappointing one for sure.
Definitely is.
Where the changes
I
in this
enjoy it more
one
than
I
most people,
don't
I think,
mind,
but, yeah.
but the changes in that one I do mind. And
I
they're
feel like with these animated, I feel like they have to stay super true to the source material. Cause like I don't know, man. Like
I mean,
if
yeah,
it's a live action
the ones
like
that do
remake
are awesome.
of something, like the way that Marvel's doing it, where they're like doing like they're taking shit from old Marvel and then stuff from like New 52, not New 52. Oh yeah, it's New 52, but I feel like these WB animations for DC should just be super true to the adaptations because Red Sun did that.
Yeah.
Under
the Red Hood did that.
Under the Red Hood did that. Yeah, like there's a few really good ones out there.
I'm gonna be all of the like new age DC animated movies, that they started in 2014, starting with Justice League War. I haven't seen all of them. I've seen the early ones I've seen War, Son of Batman, Batman versus Robin, and now Hush. And I think I've seen one more, but I haven't seen a lot of the other ones like The Death of Superman, and I've
Red
seen Dark
Sun
as
is
well. I've
really-
seen Dark. Justice League Dark is pretty cool. But anyway, I'm gonna be
when did the
rewatching
Dark
all of them.
Knight Returns come?
Fuck, that was
Was that
2018 or some shit like that.
really?
I think so.
Ah, interesting. Okay,
Yeah, I mean, all of these movies have come out between 2014 and now,
you're right. Okay,
which is kind of crazy.
except for Under the Red Hood.
Except for obviously like Under the Red Hood,
Yeah,
some of the
yeah,
older
yeah,
ones, the ones with like Kevin Conroy, that
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
isn't here. It's a Jason O'Mara, I can't remember, and he's a pretty good Batman. I like him. But
Cool.
anyway, yeah.
Very cool. Did you
Hush-
see
Hush
that
is pretty cool.
that steampunk Batman at all? It was like Batman: The Mask of Phantasm or whatever. I don't know.
Batman Mask of Phantasm isn't really steampunk though. That Batman.
No,
Mask
no,
of
I'm thinking of
Phantasm
something
is
else.
good. Yeah.
I'm thinking of something else.
Oh,
it's like Batman versus like Jack the Ripper or some shit. It's dumb.
I don't know.
But it was like,
I don't.
it was
I
not
don't,
good.
I don't think I've seen that. I am excited to watch
Yeah.
like Batman Ninja, which isn't a part of this universe, but did come out in the past like
Oh
5 years.
yeah.
I was
I heard some
excited for
interesting
it,
things
but
about
I
that.
also heard it wasn't that great. But I still really want
I
to
heard
check
it
it out.
wasn't the best either. Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be visually fun and interesting, and that's all I really want, honestly.
Mhm.
That's all I need in a movie like this.
For sure.
But speaking of another movie that all I need is just some visual fucking kick-ass fun is Nobody, the new movie with Bob Odenkirk. It's the new John Wick-esque
Oh,
type
yeah.
movie. I saw this in theaters,
Who directed
and
it?
it's fucking awesome. Let's see. It was
Was it? John
Ilya
Wick did?
Naisholler.
Oh.
He's the
don't
guy
know
who did
you are.
Hardcore Henry.
Oh, he's the guy that did Hardcore Henry.
I haven't seen Hardcore Henry, but this movie, fucking awesome, dude. Holy shit.
Cool.
The action is so good in this movie. Christopher Lloyd is in this movie, and he's hilarious. He plays
Is he
Bob
beat up
Odenkirk's
some
dad.
motherfuckers?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Um,
hell yeah!
he joins in on the action and at some point, and it's fucking awesome. And it's a really enjoyable movie that has a nice little heartfelt story to kind of ground it and propel the story, you know. Um, but it's all
Right.
just a vehicle for the action, and the action is always fun and super creative. And the final kill on the final bad guy is so fucking awesome. It's so fucking awesome.
Spoiler.
I highly. What do you mean? I'm not saying how he killed him. That's the whole.
I'm
You'll
just
see.
kidding.
Uh,
You said he killed the bad guy though.
uh, come on, fuck
Yeah.
off. Obviously, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, obviously. I knew by the trailer that Bob Odenkirk was gonna fucking kill
Yeah.
motherfuckers to the very end. So
For sure. It's a cool ass
Cool.
movie. I definitely
you saw it in
recommend checking
theaters?
Yep, saw it in theaters, which
Oh,
was
okay.
awesome.
Boys.
Yep, pretty sick. And then
Nice.
another movie I wanted to shout out was High Noon. I watched this with my brother. This is one
Oh,
of the
nice.
like classic westerns. Came out in '62, directed by Frank Zinaman. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the last name right, but I don't really care. This is his most famous movie, and it's pretty good. I definitely enjoyed it. So like the overall like structure and story, really cool. It plays all in real time. And so you follow the main character minute by minute, which is really cool. And adds in a lot of really nice tension to the movie. And there's some sound design stuff that they do throughout it, and just the way that they structure the movie that's really fun and really interesting. And all the side characters that kind of propel the actual movie are awesome. Acted perfectly, so well, like written and like quirky and funny, while also being like grounded in the world that they build. It's really cool, just all the setup. But the fucking lead guy, Gary Cooper, holy shit, one of the worst leading performances I've ever seen. Like, just so emotionless, uninspired, boring. Like, it was hard to watch him on screen, honestly. He was the
He was,
most
they
uninteresting.
tried to do like the cool gunslinger look with him.
Kind of, yeah.
Um,
He's
but
like
I can see where
he's like the
that-
lone marshal defending the town against the gang, you
Yeah.
know. And then like the final like shootout is so fucking boring. It's so boring. Yeah, like shootouts are almost always
Give me a
boring.
shootout
It's hard
since-
to do a good shootout.
you give me a shootout since the like '85 that wasn't boring.
Exactly. And that's just
Sorry.
how it is. But
Sorry.
it's just no, I agree, and it's just annoying because like
Yeah.
I hate boring ass
agree.
shootouts, and it's so painful to watch this one. But it still is a pretty enjoyable movie, and you know, there's just some like there's also a song that's built into the structure that plays at the beginning, and it constantly plays throughout like sections of the song throughout the movie. And the way that they incorporate it is really cool. It's a banger of a song. And
Nice.
it's really nice how they incorporate it into the movie. Just a really well designed, creative, cool movie that's just ruined by the lead performance and some of the editing towards the end. But I still really did enjoy it. I watched it on Amazon Prime, I think. Amazon Prime or HBO Max, as is everything is on one of those two. So
Feels like
check
it.
that out. It was definitely fun. I enjoyed watching High Noon.
Nice.
But two movies that I'll shout out really quick before we start to move on is you know, I was getting ready for the DC podcast, so I had to watch Aquaman for the first time. I'd seen all of the other ones, but I watched Aquaman for the first time.
What do you think?
It was awesome.
Yeah,
it was
Aquaman's
awesome.
pretty good.
It's
isn't it?
so good. Like it's
Yeah.
super cool. The action is like probably the best action out of any of the DC movies so far. And like
Probably just the way it's shot.
yeah, the way it's
It's
shot
so
is
much
so
better.
cool. So cool. James Wan, thank you. Thank you
Massive,
thank you
massive
for letting
respect.
James Wan direct this movie and not
Yeah.
fucking Zack Snyder slow-mo dipshit. Like thank
Yeah.
you for making cool action scenes instead of having an action scene be 2 minutes long and it only consists of 3 hits because it's just so slow-mo and boring. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, this is
But
James
yeah.
Wan coming through with a non-horror. His
Mhm.
last one was Furious 7, I want to say. It was like one of those Furious
Yeah,
movies.
I don't know. He directed like 4 of those movies. The Fast.
Nope, you're thinking of another Asian director.
Oh God, am I racist? What
I
the fuck?
think you are.
Am I?
He directed
No,
one of those
no.
movies.
He directed a few of them. I swear to God.
If he did, then I'll eat my
I'm looking
shoe.
up. I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up. Let's see. He did Furious 7, and that's it. Fuck. Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Who did? Who's the other?
Let me try. Who did Fast 5? Who did Fast 5? That's the only Fast and the Furious movie I've seen, actually, I think. Fast 5.
Oh, what's the best one? So
Justin
that's
Lin.
okay.
Yeah, I am
Yep.
horrible. I am horrible. Oh, God, I thought James Wan did Star Trek Beyond, too, but that was Justin Lin. Oh.
Yeah, that was a Justin Lin movie.
Oh, that's
And that's
fucked
the
up.
Star Trek Beyond's
Star Trek
unironically
Beyond
fucking
is the
amazing.
best of the new trilogy. It's awesome.
I love the new trilogy, but I think
So do
the
I.
first one's the best one.
I need to
Star Trek
rewatch
Beyond's
it.
a
I
really
would
cool
need to
direction.
rewatch it.
They took it in a really cool direction, though.
Mm-hmm.
I will admit that.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from me being horrible, but
I'll help you out here. We'll forget about that, and now the rest of the podcast, the listeners can dwell on this hot take. I think the Star Trek movies are better than anything else that the Star Trek franchise has put out. That includes the older movies, that includes Wrath of Khan, that includes Star Trek Voyager, that includes Star Trek Next Generation, and that definitely includes Star Trek the original show. Okay, 100%. Chris Pine is the best Kirk. But honestly, fucking Carl Urban is the best Bones. Maybe the best Bones. That and
Anton Yelchin, bro.
Anton Yelchin is a good Scotty.
Yep, he's a great Scotty.
Yeah, I honestly really think that. Yeah.
That is
Also,
super hot take.
The score in those movies. Oh my god.
Yeah. The lens flares. That's you when you're watching J.J. Abrams.
I definitely live for James. J.J. Abrams' J.J. Abraham's lens flares.
J.J. Abraham Lincoln's lens flares.
Speaking of J.J. Abrams, I don't know. That was gonna be a bad joke, and I'm not gonna say it.
Nice try. We'll move on.
I'm not gonna say it.
But that is a hot take. I actually haven't seen Voyager or The Next Generation. I have an opinion on them, but I know some
I love Voyager. That's probably my favorite Star Trek, next to The Next Generation. And in terms of movies,
I thought you just said the movies were better than both of those.
The movies are better, but I still love fucking Star Trek.
Okay.
What do you like?
Okay.
And I still think Star Trek. What's it called? The Voyage Home is like one of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Star Trek property has a lot of good shit.
Star Trek's cool as fuck, and it's a thing that I really haven't explored enough. That I should. I've only seen a very
I was just lucky
enough
that I was just lucky to grow up with it in the house. I think
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
We do not talk about Deep Space Nine though. We do not talk about.
Yeah,
that.
we'll move on. We'll move on from that.
We will move on.
Yeah, Aquaman's fucking awesome. The world building and CGI is like actually near perfect. This is the thing.
Wait, what are we talking about again?
Aquaman. The CGI in the water is like flawless, but CGI on the land is weirdly kind of bad at times.
It's definitely Uncanny Valley, right? Because
Yeah.
you're taking these like super super vibrant looking motherfuckers and you bring them onto like the shore of Newport. Like it's like I totally get it.
It's by far the best looking world out of any of the DC movies.
It's just very cool that little world that they explore.
Absolutely.
Like because it's not just like Aquaman and his like colony. There's like all other motherfuckers too. There's like fish people, like the first like fish people.
The shit with like the fishermen and the brine and the trench. Like that shit's really cool.
The trench. So the trench is becoming a singular movie.
Really?
Yeah, so there's gonna be a movie just based on the trench, and I think James Wan is working on it.
Awesome. That's so
Because that
sick.
was definitely that was definitely where he got to use his skills horror wise. I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about my daddy?
Black Manta?
No, what the fuck? No, my daddy.
Jason
I'm gonna
Momoa?
wait till. No, not Jason fucking Momoa.
Willem Dafoe?
Yes. No, asshole, not fucking Willem fucking Dafoe. Oh my god. Who's the other dad? Who's the last daddy?
Who the fuck are you talking about? Are you talking about the Aquaman's
Patrick
dad?
fucking Wilson, asshole.
Patrick Wilson's not a dad in this movie. What?
Oh, he's such a dad.
He's not a dad though in it. What do you mean?
He's a dad in every movie, I think.
Fuck off.
Except for the one where he's a pedophile. But
Patrick Wilson's cool. Yeah, he's good in it. He's a nice villain.
I just love Patrick Wilson. Sorry.
Yeah, no, he's good. No complaints about him. Super fun movie. Enjoyed it quite a bit. Very good time. And then I rewatched Suicide Squad, and we don't need to talk about that. It was worse than I remembered. So
yeah, holy shit.
I'll leave
that movie's like a fucking.
So
that movie has like a radio tuner that like it changes every 5 seconds.
It's so bad.
And they have to introduce a new character. It's so bad. Let's just move on. Release the air cut.
Release the air cut, bro. Fuck that. No.
Did you see Warner Bros. Shut that shit down immediately?
Yeah, it was so funny. It was so funny. Anyway.
Motherfucker, you got the air cut, okay? You got what you fucking deserve.
Absolutely. Fuck that movie. It blows. I hope the Suicide Squad is better. The new one.
Yeah, I actually watched
cool.
the trailer to that and
Yep.
it looked pretty fun.
Trailer's cool. I hope it's good.
Did you see that Suicide Squad game that's coming out?
No. That sounds interesting.
So I know you're not the biggest gamer, but it's Rocksteady doing it, who did all the Arkham games.
Yep. That's
So,
awesome. I
that's
love
exciting.
the Arkham games. I really love
I did
those
too.
games. That's awesome. Okay. I gotta look that up. That would be super fucking interesting. But
yeah, it was announced and there was like a trailer for it from like a year ago, but it was not on my radar at all.
Nice. Yeah. But that's enough talk about Suicide Squad.
I agree.
Fucking last movie I wanted to talk about that actually ties into our topic is I watched the original Godzilla for the first time, 1954 original Japanese cut, and wow, I mean, wow. I'm genuinely serious when I say this movie's a masterpiece. It actually blew me away. It's so
for the time, it's incredible.
Good. It's not even like just for the time. Like, yes, there's moments where it's like, obviously that's a toy. Obviously that's a toy car, or like, obviously that's like a suit. But the suit's fucking cool. The suit is fucking cool, and the way that they shoot this,
it's pretty legit. Yeah.
The way that they shoot Godzilla alongside the sound design. Oh my god, the sound design in that movie is fucking terrifying. It is a horrifying
very
screech.
Scary.
The stomping, the sounding of the buildings crunching, the fire crackling, the people screaming, and the way that it's just like edited together and balanced is unreal. It's genuinely scary at times, which I wasn't.
Yeah. And
I was
ridiculous.
Really scared to
I would
watch
say as ridiculous as the costume may be to a lot of people today, it's fucking freaky, dude. It like moves around so crazy. It's got these fucking crazy eyes.
Yeah.
Like
it's really fucking cool.
Yeah. It's scary.
I was so blown away by it. And it's like I've always been a massive Godzilla fan, and like my relationship to Godzilla and the Godzilla movies is really interesting because like the first Godzilla thing I saw was sadly the Matthew Broderick Godzilla that came out in the 90s, which fucking sucks. But I loved it, you know, because it was just
the
fun.
same writer that was on that movie was on the new one. Godzilla.
That's
called.
Hilarious.
I found that out. I thought it was very funny.
That is really funny. Yeah, I loved that, and so I was always a massive Godzilla fan. But as is with so many things growing up, even though we did have the internet, it was still so difficult to watch a lot of older movies. and namely all of those like old Godzilla movies. I don't know. I just wasn't able to watch them. But how I consumed them was through YouTube clips of like what looking up YouTube clips of Godzilla versus this monster, Godzilla versus this monster, and watching those and just having a great time. And I
What
just
was the who owns those monsters, by the way? There's like some company like starts with a T.
Toho, Toho, and
Toho.
it's the
Okay,
people who
yeah,
made
yeah,
the
yeah.
original Godzilla too.
The Toho
And
monsters.
yeah,
That's like what
and
they are,
yeah, it's fucking awesome, and I loved them.
like
And I
Mothra and
never, and
shit.
I
Yeah.
always knew that the original Godzilla was supposed to be like actually scary and like a serious type movie. But I didn't know much about it and like the evolution of Godzilla. And then I started kind of looking into it in past years, but really looking into it honestly the past few days after I watched Godzilla, the original, and it's pretty sad the way that the original movie was changed and how it became Americanized and like how that led into how we know Godzilla today. But it's also kind of cool in a way. It's very strange of like the original Godzilla cut, very political, very sad.
Godzilla's
And
a very political monster.
yeah, and then for the American cut, which came out
Major political.
a year or two after, they cut out 30 minutes of footage. No, they cut out 20 minutes of footage and then refilm like 30 minutes of footage with an American actor and like
What the
completely
fuck?
desanitized it. And that's when they coined the term
Ew.
Godzilla, the king of the monsters, and it became like super Americanized, and that's how it became popular. And that the original version you weren't able to see it until 2004 when the Criterion collection remastered
Yeah,
it,
thank God for
which is
fucking
fucking
Criterion and
unreal.
all they do.
And so it's one of the things that's horribly sad, but at the same time, due to the Americanization and the popularity of that, Toho capitalized on it. And so the next movie, which came out a few years later, Son of Godzilla, I believe was the next one, they start to go on into the full on camp. And so Toho embraces it, and
They
it
do. They
becomes a
do, yeah.
symbol of Japan and a symbol of connection and bridging the ties between America and Japanese political stances and stuff like that. The way that the Americanization, even though it kind of ruined the core essence of the Godzilla character, it still found a way to bring the
How
cultures together
interesting.
because of how Toho capitalized on it. And it's really interesting, and it makes that interesting dynamic of being really sad, but at the same time, um, obviously working out for the better and being really fun and engaging and culturally divisive. Um, and that's just like a crazy story, I think, that isn't talked about enough.
That's
Um,
insane.
yeah,
That,
absolutely.
that that gives that movie so much more depth. It
Yeah.
actually gives Toho, the company, and then the people that produce these monsters,
Mhm.
way more depth than I've ever
Yeah.
learned. So that
It's
was cool. I
it's
like
really
that.
cool. And I will say, obviously, most of that was stolen. I didn't just like read that information and
Oh,
kind of
of
spew it
course, yeah.
out. This
But
is
incredible information.
A YouTuber that we shouted out in the last episode for a great video on her has a great video on Godzilla, Captain Christian. He has and that's where I got all of this
Oh,
information from about the origins of Godzilla and how it was changed throughout the years through Americanization and stuff like that. And so go check out that video because obviously he's a lot better at explaining it than I
cool.
am. But it's just so crazy to see and hear, and the way that Godzilla has evolved into the years up until this new Monsterverse that started in 2014 is just crazy. But please check out the original Godzilla. It's on HBO Max, and it is, like I
Yeah,
said,
it
a
is. It is.
genuine
Yeah.
masterpiece. Um, and fucking
Um,
Takashi Shimura's in it. You'll recognize him from a ton of Akira Kurosawa movies. He's in The Seventh Samurai, Ikaru, Rashomon, The Hidden Fortress, Kagamishu,
so,
Ran. Like he's
so
literally in
he's in
all the
all of them.
movies.
What the
I mean, you recognize his face when he popped up. I'm like, oh my god, I didn't realize that he was in this. That's
fuck?
awesome,
Cool.
and he's great in it.
Um,
Please check out
cool.
Godzilla, the original cut.
You
It's
mentioned
awesome.
you mentioned like political Godzilla. If you want to see some political Godzilla. Shin Godzilla that came out a few years ago.
Hmm.
I thought was very good.
I have
Um,
yet to check it out, and I really need to
eh,
because
I might bring it over. I got it on Blu-ray.
you absolutely should. I'd love to watch it with you.
It's a fun watch, and the Godzilla in that is practical.
Mm.
It's a lot of fun. So I'm
I've
not gonna
seen clips
spoil
of
it,
it,
but
and it looks cool.
he goes through different stages of
I
learning
I
gods.
I
It's
actually have seen the
very
first like 20
cool.
minutes. Uh,
Oh,
and
okay.
so like the first like iteration or two of him, I've seen, and it's
There's
weird.
like five total, I want to
It
say,
Yeah,
but
it's weird, but it's fucking
it's
cool.
very cool.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Yeah,
nice. You want to get into our Godzilla topic?
absolutely. Let's get into the topic. So we're obviously
Number
ranking the
one.
new Godzilla movies, starting with the Gareth Edwards one that came out in 2014 through Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the
How many
Monsters,
are there?
and Godzilla vs.
There's only
Kong.
like four, isn't there?
Four. Yep,
Oh
four
wow.
movies. Uh, but
There's only four
this
movies in
was
the span of like
hard for me to make.
7 years. That's wild.
2014, yeah,
Because
kind
like
of
the
crazy.
first Godzilla movie was 2014. Then the next movie we saw Godzilla in was 2019.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
it's kind of crazy. But
And we had and Kong in the middle of that. But yeah.
yeah, I love all of these movies. I've seen. Sadly, I haven't seen Godzilla vs Kong in theaters because the night it came out, I watched it with all my roommates
I
downstairs,
didn't
at
see
our
it in
house,
theaters either.
obviously. And it was a great time. I did not care that I wasn't watching it in theaters. We have a good TV, and we just
Yeah,
turned
I
the
didn't
volume up
either.
super loud, and it was
Exactly. Yeah.
so fucking fun watching with them. But we won't get into that right now. I don't want to spoil the review too much. But like I said, I am a massive fan of the character Godzilla. Always have been, and I've always been a massive fan of these movies. For my 14th birthday, I went and saw Godzilla. With my birthday party with all my friends, and that's such a great memory of mine. And I just have so much love for basically all of these movies. It was really hard to make this list. I rewatched all of them
Really.
besides Godzilla King of the Monsters because I just didn't have time, sadly. But
I actually haven't seen this lit. I haven't. I I haven't seen any of them since the
since
last time
the
I saw it.
releases,
No, I think I've seen. Yeah, I've seen the original Godzilla, and I've seen Kong Skull Island since the releases, but
hmm
King of Monsters I have not.
yep,
But I did see that in theaters.
yep, I'm the same with you. But so it was great rewatching them, and it made this list so fucking hard to make, and it definitely shook it up a lot. Opinions changed, and I will admit I'm still not 100% sure on this list. I am excited to hear your arguments for some of them, because I'm still not even sure on the top three. I'm only solid on my last one.
So
So
how did you want to go through this since
uh
there's only four?
will because do you want to talk
Do
about
you just want to like?
spoilers with each of them? If so, we can do it the way that we did with like the Nolan movies,
I don't remember that many spoilers, but
Yeah,
yeah, I think it's fine if because I feel like most people have seen them, right? I don't know.
yeah, yeah.
Like I could.
We won't do like massive. We'll try and keep the spoilers to a minimum, but there
You
will
just
be
want to
if you haven't seen these movies. But
you just want to
we'll
go
just
through
run
like
through them normal. Yep. And I'll
okay.
just start just because like I said, I'm very firm on my last slot, and I have a hunch that it might be your last slot too. At least I hope it is. Godzilla King of the Monsters. That's definitely in the last spot for me. It's a
For what?
I what do you mean for what?
Oh, like that. That's your fourth place spot.
Yep, yeah, that in the
Should
ranking
I
for
just say it
me.
right now? That's my first place. That's so funny.
Are you serious? King of the
Uh,
Monsters is?
yeah,
Wow. Okay. Um.
yeah.
Oh. Whoa. That's strange.
Sorry. What?
Um.
How?
That's
What
just
do you mean?
interesting. That's interesting.
It's subjective. Fuck you.
Obviously,
Okay.
it's suggested. I'm
My
just saying
least.
that's just strange. That's like one of the
My least.
biggest like separations that we've had in like any of our lists, probably.
Yeah, that's why I
Because
mentioned it
I'm so
immediately.
firm on that being
Um.
last.
Right. Well, my last one's fucking Kong Skull Island. That piece of shit. Yeah, I
That
don't like
movie's
it.
fucking awesome. Fuck you.
I don't like it.
Um.
Know.
Actually, but before we get a little bit into that, I will say alongside why this is so hard for me to make is like I was going through. There's like a certain number of things that's the same in each movie, and it's just like deciding which beat is the best in each movie. And it's like the world building, the score, the cinematography, the direction, the human characters, the monsters, and then the fight scenes. And
Hmm.
so I basically wrote those down and picked my favorite for each of those. And King of Monsters wasn't my favorite on any of them.
I so the way I ranked mine was the way Godzilla, his roar, I ranked his roar. And that's how I ranked the movies. And he doesn't
No
roar
Godzilla
in
roaring
Kong Skull
Kong.
Island. Oh wait, shit, doesn't he roar at the fucking very end?
I don't know, does he?
Wait, no, he's not even in the movie, is he?
He's not in the movie at all.
Yeah, he's not even
He's not in
yeah, he's not
Kong.
even in the movie.
Ah,
So there you go. Kong Skull
fuck
Island,
you.
no Godzilla
Fuck
roar.
you.
That's my least favorite.
Okay, so
I got other.
let's talk about this a little bit. Why we both have these? Because whatever, I'll reveal it right now too. I think Kong's probably my number one. Um, so it's like, why do you
Like your
have Kong
favorite?
so low? Why? Yeah, I think
Like
Kong
your.
might be my
Oh,
favorite.
okay. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Why do you have Kong so low?
Oh, Kong is so messy, man. It's a messy movie that can't figure out who its main character is, which is fine. You don't have to have that. I would prefer it if you had someone that you would follow, but you don't have to do that. But instead, they gave us like four different people that we maybe could have followed. You had Brie Larson's character. You had in the very beginning, you have John Goodman's character. You have what's his face, Loki, um, and there's another person as well that is forgettable. But my biggest issue with this movie is with trying to balance these characters. And I actually kind of liked it when they eliminated some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't like I don't know. I feel like if you're going to introduce this many people into your monster movie, I feel like you need to have a little bit more structure and like, and I need to know who these characters are, other than this is a photographer that you hired from Vietnam from National Geographic because
Mm-hmm.
she's the best, I guess. I don't know, or like I don't like what is uh, Tom Hiddleston's character? He's like a tracker, correct?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah, like I don't know. I thought like I guess he was cool. He had that one cool scene where he's like tearing motherfuckers up with like a sword.
Sword.
But even
Yeah.
that scene, I'm like felt so out of place in that movie. It was very strange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think the world
I
is cool.
I
Skull
will
Island's
interject a
cool. But
little
I'm not
bit.
done shitting on this
Okay, okay,
movie.
okay, okay,
Let me shit on this movie.
okay.
Let me
Let
shit
me
on
hear
this
it. Let
movie
me
even
hear it.
more, and then
It's
you
okay.
can come all over it. Actually, is well here. I I'm not I'm not the biggest fan of uh Kong being like singular. No, I mean not singular. He was like a part of like some clan or whatever, and like all these motherfuckers are gone except for him. I don't know how that makes sense. Um,
What do you mean?
and
That
they're
totally makes sense. All of the monsters in this universe stem from the fucking Hollow Earth, and so
yeah,
obviously there's
but
like
where but
creatures that have like families. You see multiple of the same creature in the Hollow Earth alongside other
I think
creatures.
the
Like,
fact that we never got to see another Kong type
well, they
is
explained that he was the
disappointing.
last one though. That was the
I
thing that
yeah, and
they explained that
I
the
don't
Skull
like that
Crushers killed them
I
all.
don't like that like half-ass explanation because I
Uh,
feel like if you're gonna have this much like untouched like Earth, like what happened to them that made them extinct? It makes no
well,
sense.
the
Like
Skull Crawlers killed them.
the skull crawlers killed him. Okay, well then okay, there you go. I guess.
I mean, yeah, they say this. I don't know. I didn't have an issue with that. I understand if you do, but I'm just saying they do explain it, and I'm completely okay with that explanation.
Yeah, yeah. Other than that, I just don't like the director.
Yeah.
So
Jordan Voight Roberts, whatever the fuck his name
yeah,
is
he's a
a fucking
bitch.
loser.
He's a little.
He's annoying.
He's a little
He's one of the
bitch.
guys who replies the hate on Twitter, like
Yes, he's
criticism of
so
this movie. I
annoying.
mean, and it's fucking hilarious. But I don't really care. That doesn't factor into my appreciation of the movie at all. But
It doesn't factor in my appreciation, but that guy's a little bitch on
I
Twitter.
will say
He's a fucking pussy on
everything
Twitter.
you said about the human characters is 100% right. Absolutely, it is.
That was probably
And
my biggest
the
issue with it,
human
honestly.
characters in Kong are only the like they're only, I don't know how to phrase this. The human characters in King of the Monsters are the only movie where the human characters are worse than the one in Kong. So the human characters in Godzilla and Godzilla versus Kong are both way better than any the human characters in both of those movies, I think.
I think they're on par, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. Um, yeah. as I said, like the thing with King of Monsters is like I really do like that movie. It's really fun. The action's great. The monsters are great. Um, but when I'm going down the list, really, I just prefer basically every other aspect to one of the other movies on this list.
Mhm.
And so that's why it's just pretty firm at that last spot for me. Um, well, that's okay. I still, like I said, I
I
don't think
feel
it's a
like
bad
that's
movie.
mine for the next three movies. I think I have the same feeling, but
Yeah.
it's just for Kong Skull Island. I like adamantly. I was excited for this movie. I thought the trailer was awesome. I was like, we're about to get a really cool, awesome fucking King Kong. And I was just like in the movie theater, just like not happy with what I was watching.
I gotta say
I
on
do like
this,
it when
you go.
when he fucking rips up that squid
Yeah,
and there's
yeah,
like I thought there's like specifically the CGI and the visual effects were incredible during that scene.
yeah.
Just like anything with Kong in the water was like really cool.
Hmm.
That stood out to me, and I think visual effects throughout the whole series are impressive.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
100% agree. I will say on this rewatch of Kong, I definitely didn't like it as much, but I fucking saw this movie like 2 or 3 times in theaters actually, and I own it on
Oh
Blu-ray.
well.
I really enjoy this movie. I still really do enjoy it, but you know, I will say I don't think it's gonna be my number one, um, but
So Godzilla's your
it,
number
it's
one.
fucking hard. Godzilla is probably my number one. Yeah,
All right, let's
but
just keep going then.
yeah. So for number three for me, because like I said, for these three, since I said they're pretty close, I'll go down that list that I mentioned earlier and tell you about the ones that I think is the best for each of them. So we go with the world, just the world and world building. And this one's really fucking hard. I really wanted to go with Godzilla versus Kong actually because of the Hollow Earth and the sci-fi shit that they do.
I was gonna say
It's
I
cool
low
as
key
fuck.
feel like the world building in
Hmm.
Kong versus Godzilla is actually very good.
Yeah. I almost went with that, but
Like very well
Skull
established.
Island is way too cool. I'm a massive fan of Skull Island, and all of its inhabitants, and that ties into the monsters, where I absolutely go with Kong Skull Island. All of the
Right.
like creatures that are featured in Kong Skull Island are fucking awesome. They're perfectly designed and so creative. They look flawless. They're fucking scary. They're fucking cute. They're fucking awesome. I mean,
I
I
actually
really
kind of
enjoy
think the
them.
monsters. I'm not trying to shit on your
No, it's
thing
okay.
here, but I'm thinking like King Kong, Peter Jackson. I feel like the Skull Island in that was it was definitely like a different type of
I haven't seen
island.
it.
And oh, you haven't?
Yeah,
Um, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I
I've
don't know.
seen
It
the
was
I've
just
seen
like
the fucking
visually.
insect scene. The
Oh,
insect
okay.
scene
Well,
that
I'm just
seems
saying
fucking
like
terrifying. But
I'm thinking about it now, and maybe I shouldn't compare the two other than their Skull Island movies, but um, I don't know. The Skull Island and King Kong is pretty cool, and I think I like the creatures in that better. But
mhm.
you know,
You mean you like the creatures in the Peter Jackson one?
I
I
think
see.
I
I
think
see.
so. Yeah,
Yeah, I obviously don't have a bearing on that since I haven't seen it. But
I
the
actually like Kong though. This version of Kong more than the Peter Jackson version of
yeah, I
Kong.
love this version of Kong. It's fucking awesome.
Especially in the last movie, I thought it was
Yeah,
super intriguing,
so good.
which
But yeah,
surprised me.
so I pretty firmly go with the monsters for Kong, and then probably the world for Kong. But then where it starts to get more dicey is we get into this more of the technical stuff. The score,
Mhm.
the score from in Godzilla blows every other score out of the water. Alexander Desplat did the score, and I did not remember that.
Yeah, yeah,
But when
yeah.
hit, dude,
It's
the
a
people
haunting score.
the
If I
people
remember.
attached to the 2014 Godzilla, when the credits were fucking rolling, I was like, holy shit, I forgot all of these people were attached. This is a stacked ass movie when it comes to the production design. And the score from Desplat is fucking beautiful and haunting and easily the best score out of any of these movies.
It's generally scary, especially
Yeah.
like the skydiving scene.
Oh my
The score
God.
during that is
Yeah.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And honestly, like looking back on it, Godzilla wasn't like obviously marketed as horror, but I feel like the best horror elements out of all of these movies is the original Godzilla. It's fucking dark, man. It really is.
Yeah. When I'll talk about
You
my
don't really
love
get
for
like the
this first
jokey
Godzilla a
stuff that you
little
get
bit
in
more in
later
a bit,
movies.
but yeah, this Godzilla's fucking amazing. But
And like this is a I'm sorry, I keep
No, you're good,
interrupting
you're
you,
good,
but
you're
this
good.
is also a Godzilla that is serious, which Toho kind of went through the campy route, and
Mhm.
obviously the American Godzilla, the Roland Emmerich one. Oh wait, no, it wasn't Roland Emmerich.
I don't know.
But
Matthew Broderick.
actually, it might have been.
I don't know who directed it.
But that one was like super serious for the most part. They went ahead and did serious again, which I think is good for Godzilla because he's a fucking terrifying iguana that's 100 feet in the air about to shoot laser at you. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, that's fucking scary as shit.
Yeah.
And I like the mood
Yeah.
in Godzilla 2014 because
Absolutely.
as much as I think Godzilla King of Monsters is a better movie, I don't give a fuck about the characters. I don't care about any of the campy dialogue in it. I thought it was actually took me out of the movie some
Yep.
point. Like the whole we'll get into it, but like everything with like Millie Bobby Brown and that the one fat kid from fucking Deadpool and uh,
Brian Terry Henry.
Brian Terry Henry. Yeah, I thought the whole part was like super unnecessary.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
And
But
just not fun.
I will build on what you were saying about the original Godzilla and the kind of tone that they were going for. I will say that was the big thing that really blew me away on this rewatch in the way that they were able to balance this tone. This was the hardest movie to make out of any of the monster movies. They're reintroducing us to Godzilla in the up and coming Monsterverse and trying to set the tone for how these movies are going to be. And the way that it balances genuinely scary and thrilling with campy and dumb is crazy cool. And it's all because of the human characters. The human characters, another point that I was saying on checklist for making this ranked list, human characters, definitely the human characters in Godzilla are by far the best. They're so
Yeah, I'm thinking about it now, bro. Like
so
there's actually
interesting.
some really compelling fucking scenes with like the human characters.
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning before you
Oh
even
my
get to see Godzilla
God, dude.
with like Bryan Cranston
Yeah.
and everything.
Just so
yeah.
fucking good. And the
Glad you mentioned
the
that.
way that these human characters are designed perfectly leads to the tone because you have the far side of the seriousness of Bryan Cranston, who holds down the seriousness, who is just fucking perfect. And then you have the
Mhm.
very far side of campiness, which is Ken Watanabe, who is just fucking awesome in this movie. And he's in King of Monsters as well. And I wish he was in Godzilla vs. Kong because he's awesome.
Yeah, he's actually really awesome now that I'm thinking about it.
He's so fucking good. And so you have The Rock for the serious and The Rock for the campy, which are also the two tones. And so you have those two kind of battling, right? And then you have Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's kind of in the middle, who's just like a lifeless sponge. He's not that great. He's not like a great performer, but you can just at least in this movie he's not a great performer, but you can throw him in any genre and he'll be able to fit. So he's that bridge between the serious and the camp, and so you have the really nice seriousness up until, yes, spoiler, Bryan Cranston dies. They pull a Psycho.
Woo!
They brand him as like the main character and they kill him off like halfway through.
They did. I remember when everyone.
I actually
this was like
really
very
enjoyed.
close to after Breaking Bad finished.
Mhm.
Very close. I want to say like a year afterwards. And people were like all about Bryan Cranston. So yeah, when he
Mm.
died in the theater, I was like, ah!
Yeah. His death scene is like his like actual death scene sucks, where he's like in the fucking like helicopter or whatever, and he's like talking to alien.
Yeah,
Like that's stupid. When he like fell off the thing, that should have just been dead, and then like them not be able to find him. Like that would have been way better, I think. But
I agree.
like anyway, Aaron Taylor Johnson is that bridge between the two tones and the two characters, and so it allows those tones to live individually in their own scenes while also melding and molding into just a really strong movie, you know. And that was just something that I found so impressive, the balancing of tones through characters. And that's the thing that really propelled this movie. Yeah, it's got to be pretty strong at my number one.
This is your number two?
No, I'm settling on Godzilla for number one. Right when I
Yeah,
watched Kong.
You're like almost convincing me.
So
I watched put it in my number one.
I watched these all last night actually. I watched Kong and then I watched Godzilla 2014 and then I watched Godzilla 1954 all in a row. And so right when I finished Godzilla 2014, I was like, that's easily my number one. That has to be.
Yeah.
But then the more I thought about it, I was like, I really love Kong. I really want to put Kong at number one, but I couldn't do it because I love the 2014 one too much though. But yeah, that movie's just so good. But I want to get back a little bit to the list that I was saying about how I created the ranked list. So we, like I said, I have the world building going to Kong School Island, the monsters going to Kong Skull Island, the score going to Godzilla, and then the cinematography by Larry Fong. That's for Kong Skull Island. The cinematography in that movie is just fucking beautiful, dude. That movie looks so good. That movie looks so fucking good. It is awesome. And I cannot believe, I know you're thinking in your head.
Versus Godzilla, really, though?
Versus, like, the 2014 one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's visually better. This thing, I give the directing to Godzilla 2014 with Gareth Edwards. I think his directing and the way that he goes about making that movie is a lot more interesting and a lot better. But purely visually, for the cinematography, Kong is so beautiful, dude. That movie's so beautiful. I
was just thinking about it.
Actually carries the movie.
Isn't John C. Reilly like a small character in that movie as well?
Yeah, he's hilarious in it. He's a really good character.
Wait, he's like the fucking...
Yeah, he's the guy who crash lands at the beginning. He's the pilot who crash lands at the beginning. He's a pretty key character. And he's awesome.
I'd rather have watched that movie between the pilot and him, I think, rather than the movie we got.
Yeah.
I think that would have been a much more interesting movie.
That would have been good, honestly. But yeah. And then I had, obviously, I said earlier, the human characters go into Godzilla. Absolutely. Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Ken Watanabe, Sally Hawkins, who I didn't mention. Sally Hawkins is fucking awesome. And then Elizabeth Olsen. What a great cast. That does such a good job. But I did make a little side note. The best human character out of all of these movies, man, I've talked about it before in the past.
Brown.
Good child actors. And Gia in Godzilla vs. Kong is fucking awesome. And she holds that movie down. Yeah, she holds that movie down. I'm serious. She is the best character out of this franchise.
When she does her sign language and looks up to Kong.
It's so fucking
cute. When she looks up to CGI monster,
so
I was like, oh my god, it's the best performance of all time.
It's so cute. It's so awesome. I hate you because I know you're being sarcastic. But she's great. When she was in the green screen studio, so when she was in the green box, and the big finger was coming down and she touched it, I was like, holy shit! Give this fucking child an Oscar. Oh my god! Fuck you!
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But now I'm just imagining like Jacob like crying over this performance and then like it cuts to like the behind the scenes footage of just like this giant green finger coming down, and she's like touching, and they're like, cut, that's a perfect,
Perfect.
we got it, we got it.
Yeah.
I unironically think she was probably the best part of that movie.
Yeah.
With the human character, her and Rebecca Hall's relationships actually.
Yep. Absolutely.
Pretty interesting.
So
except
good.
like, can we talk about this movie now? Well, no, we can't. We're still
not yet. I still
okay.
We still got a little bit more to talk about on these. I will say just the last category that I wanted to say was the fights. Fights are obviously incredibly important in this movie, and come on, dude, there's no better fight scenes than the one in Godzilla versus Kong.
I agree.
We'll
100%.
talk about it more
They're
later,
like,
but they're by far the best.
Legitimately the best ones.
Yeah, by far.
Like the fight scene with we'll talk about it, but yeah,
we'll talk about it.
To say about that
but yeah,
well.
So you go down it. I
you
have
to say my last.
I'll say my last piece on it. Obviously, going back down it, I got Kong for world building, cinematography, and monsters. So that's 3, which is pretty great. But then I got Godzilla 2014 for score, directing, and human characters. So I got 3 on both of them. But I definitely give Godzilla the edge. And so my ranked list, I will solidify it with Godzilla 2014 at number 1, then Kong Skull Island, then Godzilla vs. Kong, then Godzilla, the King of the Monsters.
So from 4 to 1, I'm gonna give it Kong Skull Island, my least favorite. Number 3, what did I say? Oh, King of Monsters, yeah.
You said King of Monsters was your number 1. What?
No, I was thinking of Kong versus Godzilla as my number 1.
Oh, okay. I got it mixed up earlier, but
if I said King of Monsters, I'm sorry. King of Monsters is still good though.
I thought you did, but you might have. But regardless, anyway. So you got Kong and then King of Monsters.
You kind of convinced me to put Godzilla my number 1, but just for fun, I'll fucking put him my number 2, and I'll put Kong versus Godzilla. Or is it Godzilla versus Kong? It's Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
I'll put that as my number 1. But like after this conversation, Godzilla's fucking good.
Godzilla's fucking.
I think
good,
we can settle on that.
I genuinely think this is like a 4.5-star movie. Like, it's awesome. I love Godzilla. I was really blown away on this rewatch, and I will admit, before the rewatches, I had it at last place. Just because really? I remembered loving it, but I remember loving these ones way more. And all of these movies are pretty tonally different. And, they're way different for different moods. And I like those top 3. It depends on the mood. Depending on the mood, Godzilla vs. Kong is by far the best for me. It just depends. But, that's our ranked list. We'll solidify those right now, though. We're going to go into our short little intermission break as per usual, because I really fucking gotta pee. And then we'll be back finally with our actual in-depth spoiler thoughts on the new Godzilla vs. Kong. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. This was a really fun one to do, as I'm sure you can tell through how much I talked about it. I'm a really big fan of Godzilla and this series, so I was really excited that we got to do this episode, even though sadly we did have to delay the DC episode. Hopefully we'll get back around to that either in late May or early June. Since I do have the next few episodes planned out already. As always, stick until the end of this episode so you can hear what we're talking about in 2 weeks, which will be out probably on like April 22nd or something like that. That'll be really exciting. So if you want to participate in that conversation, as always, stick until the end at In the Closet WJN. And thanks so much for listening. As always, love you guys. All right, guys, we're back to talk about the new fucking movie, the new HBO Max exclusive. HBO Max sponsor us, please. We talk about you way too often.
Not for moms. Oh.
Wait, what's not for moms? Godzilla vs. Kong or HBO Max?
Only for kids or teens.
Fuck. Anyway, obviously, we're reviewing the new Godzilla vs. Kong movie by Adam Wingard, who directed it. The plot synopsis on IMDb reads: the epic next chapter in the cinematic Monsterverse pits 2 of the greatest icons of motion picture history against one another, the fearsome Godzilla and the mighty Kong, with humanity caught in the balance. Whoa! This is epic! Godzilla checks Kong! Bro! What the fuck are you doing? Oh, God.
I was like, I don't know what I was doing. You can edit that.
I don't know. I don't have an excuse. I'm sorry. That was fucked up.
No,
I know.
I really don't. There's no reason for that, and I apologize to the viewers and anyone that had to see that.
Oh God, this is
Jesus
messed
Christ.
up. Oh no, I understand what you were doing. You were doing an homage to the original scene in Godzilla vs. King Kong in the 60s, where King Kong
right.
shoves a tree down
That's right.
Godzilla's throat. That's what you're doing with your hand. And then they
I knew
actually
you- I knew you'd
reference
catch
that in the new Godzilla vs. Kong with the fucking axe handle.
They do that, don't they?
I saved you. I saved you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Those actually are real things that are in it, which is actually a cool little reference that they did.
Yeah, when I
But,
saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's cute."
That was
I'm glad they
Pog.
put that in there.
That was Pog for sure. I'm gonna be saying a lot
you
of
wanna talk about
gamers.
this movie?
I'm surprised I haven't said Pog more this episode. I've been playing a lot more League of Legends again recently with my friends, which is
Jesus
concerning,
Christ.
of course. And so I've been saying
That's not
Pog a
good.
lot more, which is not okay. So
That is not okay. So.
that is fucked up. Pog
Poggers just rolls off. Poggers. It just rolls off like
It's
the
just
pug really
it's
well.
such
I
a
like
good
it.
word. It's such a good word.
Pog champion.
Yeah.
Poggaroo's revenge. Like
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Pog 2 electric Pogaroo.
Let's
I don't-
edit this part. We
Is that
basically
the
just
TikTok
regained
clip?
our virginity by talking about this. So
Oh my god. Is that the
yeah,
I think
let's
that's
talk
the
about
TikTok clip.
fucking Godzilla and King Kong. or
Anyway,
whatever.
yeah, this movie. So, if you couldn't pull it from when we were talking about it in our rankings, Nick and I both really did enjoy this movie. Obviously, Nick put this at his number one, and I said on any given day this could be my number one. This movie kicks so much fucking ass, dude. It's so sick. This is similar to Godzilla King of the Monsters. I watched the trailer for both of those movies probably like 100 times. The trailers for both of those
Why?
movies are fucking awesome. They look so sick. And
Oh,
like
I actually remember the
I
trailer for King of Monsters.
King of the
being
Monsters
really
is so good. I love those trailers.
cool. I do remember that.
And obviously Nick doesn't fully agree with me, but King of Monsters is not even remotely as good as the trailer was, and I was sad by that. But Godzilla vs.
I
Kong
kind of agree with
is
that.
way
I
better.
kind of
than
agree
the
with
trailer.
that.
Okay. I just
I
meant more
remember
so
the
since
trailer
I have it
kicking
firmly in
ass
last place.
And
But
being like really, really, really beautiful. And
For
then I
sure.
remember like
the fight,
getting like
yeah, it's like a
a
super
couple of
beautiful
those
trailer
moments
and
in that movie.
super beautiful trailer, and then you get to the actual fight scenes in King of Monsters, and they're like actually pretty messy. And we talked about earlier our
Yeah.
dislike
It's
of shaky
unfortunate,
cam,
man.
and they do lots of shaky cam, which is really strange, and makes it pretty annoying to watch those fight scenes. That's why I have that movie ranked so low. But
Yeah.
Godzilla vs. Kong is nothing like that. The trailer is awesome, and the movie kicks even more ass. The shit that they go
I may or
full
may
on
not have
camp
seen
in
the
this
trailer.
movie. They go full camp in this movie. And the only thing
They
that's
go
not
full
camp
monka.
is Gia, that we talked about earlier, who's one of the highlights
Is
of the
that
movie.
what's her?
Her name's Gia.
Is that
yeah.
the character's name?
Yeah, that's the character's
Okay.
name. At least I'm pretty sure.
How
It
the
gets it fucked up if I get it.
How the fuck did they keep King motherfucking Kong, this giant ass ape in this huge facility?
Gia, yeah.
And for someone had no idea that he was learning sign language.
Yeah, well,
That's a big plot hole.
they weren't like 24/7 watching him. And like
yeah, they were. They were monitoring him.
I guess I don't know.
They were like
I-
all over that motherfucker.
I don't know. They did make it a point clear to say that he didn't want them to know, and he was obviously like super intelligent. So I could definitely see a way in which that like, you know, he could like
I don't know. That was just one
obscure
plot hole
them from it.
Bugged me, I guess.
I get it. But yeah, that's not a big issue for me. I don't really
Also,
see that
like
as a
as
point.
cool as her character is, I think the trope of like the kid and the monster is overplayed these days. Um,
I never get tired
I
of it.
really,
I don't know why. I never get tired of it.
and
Unless
maybe
it's like a
that's why they
bad kid,
keep using.
obviously.
Maybe
If
that's why
it
they keep using Hollywood keeps using it. But
yeah.
I'm just like
It
tired of
really
it. But
it's
I
so
thought it was
dependent on the
played
kid
fine.
actor, but
I thought it was fine in this movie. I didn't really have an issue with it, honestly.
yeah.
It's just like, oh, this trope again, cool.
hmm
Um,
Speaking more on that trope and that relationship, though, obviously we really
uh-huh.
like the character of Gia, but Godzilla showed lots of really great emotion. The animators, fucking, oh my god. The animators for this movie, huge shout out to them. Literally
Yeah,
like
so that was one
flawless
thing I
throughout.
noticed. They focused on their faces a lot
Yeah,
more,
it was
especially
awesome.
especially King Kong.
Like Kong
Um,
is
yeah,
literally the lead character in this movie. He's the lead character. He's the
I
protagonist.
would say so.
Like
I would say so. Yeah.
that's fucking awesome. That's so like bold to actually go for that to the extent that they did. And obviously they have the Gia character as a way to tie him into the human characters. And so that's why I think she just works really well because Kong is definitely the main character and the
I
main
could see that. Yeah.
focus and Gia just kind of works as a way to bridge him into it to make it more palpable, I guess.
I
And
see. I see. I see. I see.
and he's great, dude. Yeah, the facial expressions and this shit, like you can literally see him like during the fight scenes, like you can see the gears turning in his brain as he's like plotting out his movement and shit like that. It's like that's awesome. That's
Oh, there
so
was a
detailed.
scene. There was a scene when he Godzilla's like kind of fucking shooken up, trying to get his regain his balance, and Godzilla's like classically on like an Empire State Building looking motherfucker, and
hmm
he throws like a fucking crane to distract Godzilla.
Yeah.
Godzilla's like, "What the fuck was that?" And then behind him comes Kong, just
hmm
fucking
Yeah.
messing him up. I thought that was very cool.
Absolutely. I know we've talked about in the past the importance of obviously fight scenes in action movies and how fight scenes need to be more than just a fight scene. You know, something more has to be kind of happening with the choreography to make it more engaging. And that usually is having personality based combat in a way. And they really
I
perfect that in this movie with Kong and Godzilla's combat, their
it
unique
was
styles
it
of
was
fighting
something.
and how they like displayed that
Yeah,
through animation and through the direction was just like
animation.
incredible, man. Those fight scenes are just so good. And the fight scenes are like 80% of the movie. So it's like that's fucking awesome. That it's just like you can tell there's so much thought put into every single frame during those scenes. It's just a marvel, you know? Marvel to look at.
I was a I was a big fan of. This is the first time, and I want to say any of the movies where they had a straight up, just like clear as day fight scene.
Yeah, yeah. Bright
Everything's either like
sunlight out,
covered in
cameras
like
like mounted on a tripod looking at it, you know? Like
straight up. Yeah.
awesome.
Um, I was like very impressed by
hmm
the way CGI and the visual effects were handled in this movie. Nothing was super because like you can have Mecha Godzilla. That's a kind of a spoiler, but
I mean,
Mecha
yeah, obviously we're
Godzilla
in full
can
spoilers.
look
People know this.
ridiculous in something like this. And as ridiculous as Mecha Godzilla is, I thought that was like solidified very appropriately with like the world
hmm
and the themes that they were trying to convey, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, Mechagodzilla, that's a little campy. That's kind of cheesy. Are we really doing this?
hmm
But then like they not fleshed him out. I guess he proved how fucking cool Mechagodzilla could be
Absolutely.
in the last fight scene.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
And this movie basically kind of comes away with saying, yeah, Godzilla's the king of monsters, but motherfucking King Kong can whoop some
yeah,
ass.
but yeah, exactly.
And King
That
Kong was basically the winner of everything in this
it's
movie.
like yes, or sorry, yes, Godzilla defeated Kong, but I'm really glad that they made the choice to be to have Kong be the one to beat Mechagodzilla. That was
Yeah,
that was
yeah, 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 yeah.
really important
That
because
was cool. That
obviously I
was
was
cool.
rooting for Kong 100%, and so like when the final like fight happens between them and he loses pretty handedly, it's like fuck, that sucks. That makes me sad. But it doesn't suck in like a bad way. It just sucks in a I just wanted Kong to win, but in the way that they bring his character back and the way that he defeats Mechagodzilla with the fucking axe alley oop from Godzilla is awesome.
Oh yeah, that was sick.
The alley oop, fucking beat him onto it, beat his ass, so sick. Um, I really don't want to talk about it because it's so stupid, but tied in with that, the fucking pouring the water or the alcohol over the controls that make Mechagodzilla like glitch out.
Oh, that was pretty lame. Yeah.
Horrible, so lame.
But no, so when I saw it in the theaters, I was like, "Oh, this is lame." But we still got to see Godzilla like fuck him up,
Yeah. So
even though,
yeah, this is
even
this
though,
is how I.
oh,
Harris.
not Godzilla, but King Kong. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. That's for sure. But it's definitely a thing. Like when it happened, my first thought is like, please don't actually kill him with that. But and thank God they had it be. It was just like a slight malfunction. So I'm like, okay, thank God they only did that. But it still is kind of dumb that they resorted to that. But at the same time, why it's so conflicting is I'm really glad that the human characters, when they're trying to like hack the mainframe, they don't just like solve it. They're like, dude, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Like I don't know what to
I'm
do.
a
I
fucking
don't.
fucking
Yeah, I'm
15
a
year
fucking
old
like
kid,
15.
bro.
It's like that shit was
Yeah.
awesome and funny, I thought, and good. But I
Um,
just wish
can
they
we talk about those characters?
instead of pouring water on it, I don't know, like explode it somehow. I don't know, grab a soldier's gun
Yeah,
and like explode it. That would have been
makes
better.
no sense. Makes no sense because the controls for Mechagodzilla weren't even in the same room as
Or fucking
where they
get
were.
one of the like rocket launchers, make one of the soldiers have a
Sure,
rocket launcher and have them shoot Mechagodzilla so it distracts him for a
sure.
split second and then Kong attacks, that would have been way better.
I actually like that better.
They did that in all the other
That
ones. Like in
you
all
just
of them,
rewrote their movie and it made it
exactly.
much better. So
In literally all of the other ones, for the final fight, one of the human characters does a small thing to distract the villain so that Kong or Godzilla can prevail. Every single one, they do that. And it's not that bad, honestly. And every single one, it's like, okay, that's plausible, that's fine, that makes sense, I'm okay with that. This is the only one that's like, man, that's stupid. Why'd they just have to pour water on the controls? That's just the worst option.
it's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk about those characters though? Three characters that I
Yeah,
felt
let's talk
like
about
were
it because
super wasted in this
I
movie.
definitely disagree with you a little bit there.
Okay.
So
Uh,
are they good and like you characters you care about? No. Are they really just
It's not like
fun
it's not
characters to
that I
watch
don't
that
care
are
about
well
them.
performed and have good chemistry? Yes, to me. I think Millie Bobby Brown, Brian Tyree Henry, and what's his fucking face? Kid from Hunt for Wilder People, da da da, Julian Dennison. They had really good chemistry, and I thought just
I
the dynamic of
guess.
those characters was really funny. And those scenes weren't great, but due to the sparseness of them, I was okay with it because at least a few jokes would land on me during those scenes, and so
Yeah.
it made it, I guess, palatable for me, I guess, and so I didn't have a big issue with it. But I do understand having issues with it,
I guess I'm the
obviously.
opposite with it wasn't that I didn't care for the characters. I didn't care for any of the human characters, and that's not the movie's fault. It's
Well,
just me being like, I don't care. But
do you feel that way about Gia and Rebecca Hudson's character though? Rebecca Hall, I mean.
yes,
Okay, I
I
thought you cared about them a little
yeah.
bit, but
No, I really don't.
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, these characters are introduced to this movie immediately with like no background information, like nothing, no nothing. Like if it was Kyle Chandler in that position, maybe because he was in previous movies, but he's barely in this one.
Or I don't know,
Um,
bring back Aaron Taylor Johnson.
yeah,
Why is he not in King of Monsters?
bring back. another pretty face to have him die in the movie. Give him a good story arc.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Instead, they brought in new characters: Brian Tyree Henry and Hunt for Wilder People kid. Rebecca Hall was new. Gia's
She is
new.
now.
I didn't
Alex,
really understand why they had
the
to do that.
Skarsgård brother, whatever Skarsgård.
Skarsgård,
It's
yeah.
Alexander Skarsgård. Yeah.
I just also the reason why I didn't like those characters was because they were useless throughout the whole movie, and
Yeah,
they're
they were
they,
absolutely.
they was nothing really important that they did.
It was
Also, I
only
feel
because like, Millie Bobby Brown is a really big name, and she was in the last one. How can we ham fist her into this somehow?
and they never in the last movie they made her out to be like some super like kind of genius little kid. She was
Yeah,
just like not that. She was like a different character. It felt like,
yeah,
and it was like I hate using this word, but it was shoehorned in. It felt
yep.
like, and
Uh,
I was like, there's no reason for this.
that's totally true. It totally is
Yeah,
true. The only why I
I love
like
all
having
three of those
and so
actors though, straight up.
this is I will say this right now. This is a total meme, but the one reason why those characters are important and why they work is because how else would Godzilla have known that they're making a Godzilla if not for him listening to Brian Tyree Henry's podcast?
That's true. That is true.
So
Yeah, Godzilla. Godzilla, if you're a friend of the show, Godzilla,
yeah.
listening,
You know,
listening in
I
right
mean,
now.
how else would Godzilla know that they were making Mechagodzilla if not for listening to the podcast? Come on, it
Yeah. Do you,
it makes
I know you're
sense.
being goofy, but did you not like that as well? Like how the fuck did Godzilla know they were making another Godzilla?
That was not an issue for me because the reason why is
Gotcha.
because the King Ghidorah had, and so whatever.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes
I
sense.
didn't really
Okay,
think about it in
that's
the
fine.
moment, but it makes sense to me.
That was
That's
that
it.
was actually
Whatever.
something that bothered me, but now that you mentioned Ghidorah's head was
Yeah.
one of his heads was in there.
The
Yeah, okay.
thing is that
Okay.
I do have an issue with the King Ghidorah's head, even though it looked cool with the skull and all the things, like the VR headset and all the tubes going into it, like how they're using Ghidorah's skull.
Uh-huh.
At the end of King of Monsters, they tease that they still had Ghidorah's head, so obviously that's where the head comes from. But it's like the head and like the flesh is still on it. I wish the flesh was still on it because it would have looked cooler. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how they would have designed and did that, but if it was like the fleshy head like in a water tank, I don't know. That could have been cool
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
I'm picturing
I
what
do
what
like
if
though
it's like
that they,
uh
that's how they
so
use
it
his head.
reminds me of like Neon Genesis in a way,
Oh,
where
jeez.
it was just an anime, but it's like how they
Yeah, no.
like how the characters kind of control those mechs. They get like surrounded by like this goo that like make you like you're basically like submerged in water. So
Yeah,
it's like
it's
what if they do that with the head? So the head is submerged in that type of shit, and then the guy is
there's a
also
word for
submerged
that.
in it, and so that's how they like have the connection. Like that would have been kind of cool.
There's
I don't
a
know.
there's like a term or a word for that. It's like organic something.
Yeah,
Like organic
I don't
something
know.
where it's
I'm
like
sure they call it
where
something
like and the
different.
best example I know about this is like you see this in like a few like alien
It's
movies where
in
like the
yeah, it's
ship
in
is like
one.
a creature.
It's on one of
What?
the Terminator movies, isn't it? With the rat.
And I have no idea.
You
I'm
know,
just thinking like
the
I'm just thinking like
okay.
the best I could describe is like in shit you haven't seen it, but in War of the Worlds, like there's like in the remake, there's like the tripods, which is like these giant
Yeah,
alien
yeah,
things, had like an organic like mouth to it.
yeah,
Like it was like all metal, but it had like an organic mouth. That's the best way I can describe like
yeah, yeah,
organic
yeah, yeah.
like technology, I
I
guess.
understand.
And that
Um,
and what you're describing with like the goo and shit, that's like
yeah,
another good
yeah.
example.
That would, I don't know. I wish they integrated the King Ghidorah head in it just a little bit cooler, but it still was kind of cool that
It would have been
room.
really cool to see King Ghidorah come back. Actually, I thought
Yeah,
that's what they were
I
teasing
thought they would have done it, but I don't
because
know.
he's my
I think
favorite
it is cool with the
Titan probably.
telekinetic head. Uh,
Ghidorah's definitely my favorite Titan.
oh my god, yeah, dude, Ghidorah is the
So
best
badass.
monster. He is so cool. Yeah, uh, he's sick. But anyway, yeah, human characters obviously not the best, but I don't think I have too much to say on those. I guess.
Not really.
Um, fuck. What else about this movie? Have I geeked out a lot? Let me look at some
Well,
of
I want
the.
to talk about a few things
Oh,
in
I got some
regards
more,
for
but yeah.
world building, like what you
Okay.
described in was it Skull Island? I want to say.
Skull Island. Yep.
They
Yeah, just
they
like a
mentioned that it's been
world
like
design, I guess, is a better phrase than building. But
Okay. Oh, okay. I got you.
yeah. Okay.
So in terms of world building, I gotta say, I'm like really invested into like this universe of like,
So am I.
what's it called? The Monarch? Is that
Monarch.
it?
Yep. That's the
Monarch and
company.
like all these companies. Like I'm a big fan of like, I don't know, just like that science fiction, like big company running like some
I agree.
crazy shit that's world changing. So I thought the world building and because they mentioned it's been like 10 years since Godzilla. So they have like all these facilities because it's not just Kong. There's like thousands of these fucking Titans sleeping or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got all these like cool facilities. They got like monitoring stations.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was interesting. As ridiculous as that is,
Yeah, the
as
Hollow
insane
Earth
as it is,
stuff is so
it's like
crazy, but so cool. It's so cool.
it's super like anime. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like
Dude, the
it's
fucking
like
how
I
they
don't know.
get to the Hollow Earth, they like go through a fucking portal and it shoots them like
Yeah.
2001 style through it, and it's like, this is crazy. This is so cool. This is
What they call it?
crazy.
It was like where all the Earth's gravity is at once or
Yeah, something
whatever.
like
Is that what
that.
they said it was? I
I
don't know.
could not tell you, but it's
Cool as
sick.
fuck.
So cool. It's so cool as fuck. Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool.
Yeah, something you kind of I don't know why this kind of sparked it. Something that you said in there just reminded me of like an interesting parallel that all of these movies have, and primarily one specifically is there's a lot of satire in these movies, I think, and kind of distaste towards humans, capitalism, and like uh militarism, like
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
condemnation of military acts and like big
Yeah.
companies and shit like that. And that's obviously a really big thing in all the Godzilla movies, and it's still very prominent in these
That's
ones.
another like
Um,
super anime trope too as
yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Now that I think about
And
it.
a really fun comparison I noticed when watching Kong School Island last night is there's a scene when John Goodman, we didn't even mention John Goodman earlier when we were talking about Kong School Island, but he's in
I
that,
did.
which is awesome. Did you? I don't remember.
I mentioned
But
it. Yeah, I thought he
he's
was
sick
my
in that.
favorite part of that movie.
Okay, he's
And then
sick
I
in
was
that
like,
movie.
when he died, I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, so for sure. But him and like Samuel Jackson and the other soldiers are walking, and they look
Oh
up
yeah, it
and
was Sam
see
Jackson.
and like the bloody handprint. And I can't remember if John Goodman or Samuel Jackson says, he says like, it bleeds. And they're like kind of like excited because it means like they can kill it, you know. And it
You killed the
reminded
motherfucker,
me
yeah.
of the one scene in Starship Troopers when Neil Patrick Harris goes up to the big monster at the end, and he like reads its mind, and he's like, it's scared.
Oh.
And then everyone like gets happy and shit like that. I don't know why. When I watched that scene, it immediately reminded me of it. I'm like, that's kind of interesting because both of those movies are they have those hard satirical themes against
Definitely
the military.
interesting.
Capitalism,
Yeah,
such
I like
that.
that comparison.
And that was just something I noticed I wanted to bring up that I
Shout out
wonder.
Starship Troopers. That's
Shout out
underrated,
Starship Troopers. That
movie.
movie's a masterpiece. Genuinely, I love that movie, so much. But speaking of some of the other like departments on Godzilla vs. Kong, I mentioned the great people that are attached to the other ones, like Larry Fong on Kong with the cinematography, Alexander Desplat with the score on 2014 Godzilla. There's some great people attached to this movie. Junkie XL did the score for this one. You'll recognize him. He did Mad Max Fury Road, Deadpool,
I mean, it's
Batman
Junkie
v
XL.
Superman.
I mean,
it's
you
fucking
know who the
Junkie
fuck that
XL.
is.
Like, that's so sick.
Did his music make it into the Snyder Cut? Because I know that was a big
Yep,
issue.
it did as well. Yep, it
Yeah.
did.
Okay. Interesting.
Which is awesome. And then you got Ben Saracen in the cinematography, which I don't recognize the name, but he worked on Unstoppable, World War Z,
Yeah.
Chaos Walking, fucking Tomb Raider, Transformers. Like this guy
Which
has
Tomb Raider?
credits. The fucking Brad Pitt's wife one.
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie
ex-wife.
one. Ex-wife, sorry. Yeah. That's awesome. And then you got Josh Schaefer on the editing. This guy did editing on fucking Molly's Game, on Kong, on that like that's a nice little record right there. Like there are some really interesting people who are attached to this movie, and I think it really, really does show. It's just a really cool movie, you know.
Yeah. For the fact that it's I have a lot of respect for Toho and their monsters and their products.
Absolutely.
But it's essentially just a big monster and another monster slapping each other on the big screen. But the fact that they could flesh it out to make it really engaging, and as Americanized as it is, I find these movies very enjoyable. And I like what should I call it? I love what's it called? Godzilla versus Kong. I keep getting mixed up with King of Monsters.
Yeah,
I love Godzilla versus Kong. I love the way they kind of conclude these fucking Titans.
Yeah.
Even if I don't think they're doing any more movies, right? This is it.
No, they probably will. I don't know. I wouldn't doubt.
I just know I just know Warner Brothers, they don't have the rights to it anymore. So
I didn't know that actually. I hope they do.
Yeah, Toho still owns the monsters.
They've been making a lot of money and doing well with this movie.
I would not be surprised. But like you also got to remember, Jacob, like Toho has King Kong and Godzilla, and that's like maybe Mothra is like.
I mean, this is the thing is like I don't know why Toho wouldn't continue partnering with Warner Brothers.
No, I'm not saying they wouldn't. I'm saying WB's probably saying, like we don't see these monsters unless you slap Godzilla to the front of it. I feel like these monsters are not going to be like, I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't carry a franchise, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't know. Because, I can totally see some like since like Godzilla and Kong made up at the end, I could totally see some badass shit of like them teaming up for like bigger monsters trying to take over.
I feel like they've done so much with this Earth already.
I feel like with Godzilla versus Kong, they unlocked so much more. Like they've done a lot of great stuff with this. Especially like they start out with the first movie is so grounded in humanity. Like it really, like we said, follows the human characters.
Sure.
A lot of the shots of the monsters are like handheld on the ground looking up at them. Like it is a very humanistic approach to the Godzilla story. And then they slowly go away from that. Each movie, they start chipping off more and more. And they got to this. I would say immediately
they get into the campiness.
Oh, absolutely. But it's definitely different in every single movie. And I think they reached, they finally chipped off enough to they're at the core of it, which is the Hollow Earth. And that really unlocks like so much shit. Because they've been teasing that in every single one of the movies. And now that they finally showed it, it's like, holy shit, that's big. There's so much they can do. So I
would like to see if the next movie took place exclusively in Hollow Earth. That would be kind of sick, actually.
Maybe one of the people who like went down or like someone got trapped into Hollow Earth during that whole shit, and I don't know. That's just like how you tie in like a human story to it if you need to. You have someone who was like trapped there, like John C. Reilly-esque. Trapped in Hollow Earth.
Yeah, I like that actually. Like what if they like the next movie they find Will Ferrell from like Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost.
Isn't Land of the Lost essentially like Skull Island, right? Or is it just like
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
shout out Land of the Lost.
Dude, I used to think I loved that movie. I
used to love it too. I haven't seen it forever, so I'm not gonna ruin my childhood.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it ever because dude, the boob cup changed me. That's the main thing I remember from that movie is the fucking boob mug. It's fucking hilarious.
I need one of those.
Same. I miss it. Cringe.
I miss it.
Oh god, this is getting out of hand. Let's go
Wanna
into
wrap
some
this
more
up?
final thoughts about this.
Okay.
The last thing I do want to mention specifically about this in the departments was the writing. It's not like great writing, but the story is really cool, and the people who are attached to the writing are really
the
cool.
dialogue's
You got
just okay.
fucking I do not know how to pronounce Michael Dougherty. I don't know how to pronounce that, but he helped write Trick or Treat, Krampus, Superman Returns,
yeah.
X-Men 2. Like, that's fucking awesome. And then you also got Zach Shields, who also worked on Krampus and Godzilla King of Monsters. That's a nice little resume right there.
He's a writer.
Yep. These are all the people attached to the writing, and then there's like 5 of them. So obviously you don't know how much each person did. Then you got Eric Pearson, who he's also attached to the writing of Thor Ragnarok, which is awesome, alongside some future Marvel products of Black Widow and Agent Carter.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, they absolutely are. But it's like these guys are guys
I know
hire,
who Doherty
but
is,
they
the rest,
have
no
they're
idea.
attached. Like the stuff that they've been hired for to like help tweak and edit, are good shit. So it shows that they like have some promise, and like all of these guys.
Or
like,
it means the script went through 5 different people before it got finished.
That's a fact. I'm just blowing it out of proportion, but I just thought each of those guys had a nice little filmography attached to them, and it's cool to see good names attached to things. I guess.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Hell yeah!
This movie is fucking awesome, dude. If you haven't seen this movie,
dig it.
check this shit out. I'm probably gonna go rewatch into theater sometime soon. My buddy Trevin, I've seen every single one of them in theaters with him, including back when we were 14 when the first one came out. Sadly, I didn't get to watch Godzilla vs. Kong for the first time with him because I live 45 minutes away from him now, so we weren't able to watch it together. But I'm definitely gonna go see it in the theater sometime with him in the coming weeks, hopefully. So check it out in the theater if it's safe. No, Regal's still not open here. Just fucking Cinemark.
So our Regal's finally opening up near us.
In Albany?
So
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just doxed you.
I don't give a fuck. Come kill me, person that's listening. I don't care. You would be doing me a favor. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. No, anyway, let's attach some scores to this movie. I don't know. What would you give this movie?
Oh, it's a solid B for sure.
Okay.
That's like a 7, I would say.
Yeah. I'd probably give this a 3.5 stars, just like a 7. Pretty strong right there. I kind of want to give it a 4, just because of how enjoyable it is, but I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Kick-ass movie. Definitely check it out on HBO Max. That's Godzilla vs.
Speaking
Kong.
of Aaron Taylor Johnson.
What?
Kick-ass.
Oh.
We brought up his name like 10 different times during this movie. During the show, so.
Yeah, true, and we didn't talk about Kick-Ass at all. Love Kick-Ass. We do not need to talk about Kick-Ass 2.
We don't need to talk about Kick-Ass 2.
Kick-Ass is awesome, though. Shout out Chloe Grace Moretz.
Actually, is it Evan Peters in Kick-Ass as well?
Yeah, Evan Peters.
Holy shit!
Nick Cage, McLovin, like.
Well, that's 2 Quicksilvers were in a movie together.
Oh yeah, I didn't even make that comparison right there.
The two together.
That's awesome. That's fucking funny. Yeah, I forgot they're like best friends.
Peters is in it. I remember his character is like wants to be like ass kicker or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like he's got the same suit. He's just yellow.
Yeah, that's funny as fuck.
Fuck, I love that movie.
Kick-Ass, 10 out of 10. Love Kick-Ass. Probably not actually 10 out of 10, but it's still awesome. But anyway,
probably not a 10 out of 10, but yeah.
Obviously, right now we would do the listener comment section, but no one wrote in, so we're gonna go cry ourselves to sleep. Guys? So what the fuck? Come on! I gotta do the cringe plug of the TikTok right now. I see you guys on my TikTok. I'm getting views on there. Come on, just DM in, comment on the post. You guys know what to do. I know you guys have seen these fucking movies.
Just DM them, okay?
Come on, please. I'm lonely. No. But please, we do genuinely really appreciate and love when people write in their response to the topic and review. It definitely adds a lot to the
Absolutely.
conversation every single time. So I hope we get more people
Definitely
writing
does.
in into the future as we have in the past. But anyway, that'll lead into if you want to participate and write in for the next episode. The topic we are going to be doing our Oscars predictions.
Wait,
The
when are the
the
Oscars?
Oscars are on the 25th, I believe. Yep, 25th, which is a Sunday. And the next episode, which is obviously in
Gotcha.
2 weeks, we'll probably be recording on like the 21st or the 22nd. So really close to the Oscars. So it's going to be me and Nick. And then my cousin Cooper's going to hop on. Me and him always love talking about the Oscars every year. And so that's going to be a really fun conversation. We're going to be just talking about all of our final predictions before the ceremony. So write in your predictions for that. It's a really competitive Oscar year this year. So
Yep.
I hope it's more interesting than Nomadland sweeping. That's all I'll say right now for that.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But
Me too.
it's looking like it'll be interesting. But for the review,
I don't
honestly
know. Yeah.
not sure. I'm honestly not sure. Do you have a? We'll talk about this a little bit right now. Do you have an idea?
For the
What?
Oscars,
What should we review that episode as well? Because I feel like
we
the
can.
episode I kind of wanna. Okay, so this is the thing. I'll reveal one of my picks. I'm
Oh,
pretty confident
okay.
in saying Nomadland for Best Picture right now, so I'd be down
Okay.
to review Nomadland since it's probably gonna be Best Picture. You know?
I feel like we're gonna talk about it anyways, though. I don't know. If you want to do that, it's fine. Also,
Uh,
we've like. I honestly don't think you would have a good time talking about Nomadland
I
since
wouldn't have a good time talking
we've
about
already
Nomadland.
discussed some
We
of
have
it
discussed about
in the
how we didn't.
previous
Yeah,
episode,
that's true.
and we were just like kind of shitting on
That's
it,
true.
and that's not
I
fun.
don't know what we'll do for the review, but I'll post a TikTok sometime in the coming week about when we know for
Yeah, we'll
sure what we're
figure
going
it
to
out.
do the
We'll figure it out.
review. But definitely,
Maybe we'll watch the first ever Oscar Best Picture.
that's a good idea. Something like that. One of the other past Best Pictures would be. That's a great idea. But anyway, so if obviously you want to participate, DM us at In the Closet WJN, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You know how it is. Check me out at Jacob Nestor 568, Instagram or Twitter. The podcast is on Anchor, Spotify, everything else. You guys know what to do. I love you guys so much for listening. Nick, fucking, where can we
Nick
find you?
Nick underscore sailing everywhere.
Absolutely. I love Godzilla. I love King Kong. This was a great episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you in 2 weeks when
A
the
lot of fun.
Oscars are coming up. See ya.
Peace.